Imagine unlocking the secret to your full potential. This audiobook reveals how your subconscious mind shapes your reality and how to reprogram it for success, happiness, and abundance. Your future is waiting, and it starts with a single decision: to transform your mind. Introduction. Welcome to a journey that could completely transform your life. Imagine waking up every morning with a sense of purpose, knowing that the full force of your mind is working in your favor, propelling you towards success, happiness, and fulfillment. Imagine the possibility of breaking free from the mental blocks, limiting beliefs, and self-doubt that have held you back for so long. What if I told you that within the very core of your being lies the key to unlocking all of this and so much more? This is not some far-off abstract concept. It's a very real power that you already possess. The secret? The subconscious mind. This audiobook is not just an ordinary self-help guide. It's a step-by-step blueprint for unlocking the untapped potential within you. A map to the subconscious treasure chest that holds the answers to your deepest desires, ambitions, and dreams. And the best part? You can start accessing it today. Why the subconscious mind matters. The subconscious mind is the silent architect of your reality. It's the invisible force behind every thought, emotion, and decision you make. Have you ever wondered why, despite your best efforts, you're stuck in the same cycles, whether it's feeling unworthy of success, struggling with relationships, or sabotaging your progress? It's not because you're lacking in willpower or intelligence. It's because your subconscious mind is running the show, often without your conscious awareness. The subconscious mind stores every memory, belief, and experience you've ever had. It processes all of the information you encounter and forms the foundation of how you interpret the world. But here's the catch. Many of these stored beliefs are not empowering. They are often rooted in past experiences, fears, and limitations that were programmed into you long ago. These programs shape your perception of yourself and the world around you. But what if I told you that you have the power to rewrite those programs? That's exactly what you're about to discover. Understanding the subconscious mind is not just about gaining knowledge. It's about transforming your entire life. Imagine the freedom of no longer being held hostage by limiting beliefs, patterns of self-sabotage, and negative emotions. When you take control of your subconscious mind, you take control of your life. How this audiobook will change your life. If you feel stuck or lost in any area of your life, this audiobook will be a game changer. From overcoming self-doubt to manifesting the life you've always wanted, you will learn to tap into the incredible power of your subconscious mind and start seeing immediate, real-world results. Here's the key. You are the creator of your reality. The only reason you haven't fully stepped into your power yet is because you've been operating from outdated or limiting programs that don't serve your true potential. In the chapters ahead, we'll break down the science and psychology of the subconscious mind. You'll learn how to access its deepest layers, reprogram it to work for you, and use it to fuel the life you've always dreamed of. But here's where it gets really exciting. The tools, techniques, and exercises you'll discover are designed to give you immediate, actionable results. This isn't about waiting years to see change. The power to transform your life is within you, right now. The only thing standing between you and that transformation is understanding how to tap into your subconscious power. Why you need to act now. Time is precious. Every moment you wait is another moment that your subconscious mind continues to run those outdated programs that hold you back. But here's the truth. Every second you spend listening to this audiobook is a step closer to freedom. It's a chance to rewire your brain, reshape your reality, and step into the most powerful version of yourself. The question is, are you ready to take action? The longer you wait to take control, the longer you stay stuck in the same patterns. But when you commit to unlocking the full potential of your subconscious mind, you'll tap into a well of resources, strengths, and abilities that you never knew existed. Your future self will thank you for the decision you make today. This audiobook is not for everyone. It's for those who are truly ready to step into their power and unlock the life they deserve. If you're looking for a quick fix or easy answers, this might not be the right path for you. But if you're ready to dive deep, to do the work, and to completely transform your life from the inside out, then keep listening. This is your moment, the invitation. You've just taken the first step toward a life of unimaginable growth and transformation. As you listen to the chapters ahead, know that you are not just learning new information. You are rewiring your brain. You are breaking free from the chains of the past and stepping into a new future, one where you are fully aligned with your true power. So, get ready. The journey of a lifetime starts now. Together, we're going to unlock the hidden power within you and take you to a place where your dreams are not only possible, but inevitable. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Gateway Within. What is the subconscious mind? The iceberg theory of the mind. The mind is a vast and mysterious realm, with its intricacies and complexity often eluding even the sharpest thinkers. To truly understand the subconscious mind, we must first acknowledge that our conscious awareness is only a small part of the mental landscape. Think of the mind as an iceberg floating in the ocean. The part you see above the surface represents your conscious mind, the thoughts and decisions you are aware of, the intentional choices you make throughout the day. These are the things you think about and plan for. But below the surface lies the subconscious mind, the hidden depth of your mental life, comprising a staggering 90 to 95% of your mental capacity. This part of the mind is responsible for your automatic behaviors, habits, emotional responses, and core beliefs. While your conscious mind may take center stage when you are awake and alert, it is the subconscious mind that runs the show behind the scenes, shaping your experience of the world without you even realizing it. The iceberg metaphor is not just a poetic analogy, but a scientifically grounded explanation for the vast power the subconscious mind holds. Most people are unaware of how much their daily behaviors and decisions are influenced by this unseen force. Imagine for a moment that you decide to make a change in your life. Perhaps you want to adopt a healthier lifestyle, get more exercise, or improve your relationships. Initially, the conscious mind might be fully engaged in this decision-making process, setting goals, creating plans, and making lists of actions. However, despite all the well-intentioned effort, after some time, you find that you are unable to sustain the changes. You slip back into old habits, and the motivation fades. Why does this happen? It happens because the subconscious mind is often much stronger and more persistent than the conscious mind. While you may consciously desire change, your subconscious mind is influenced by years of habitual thought patterns, emotional conditioning, and deep-rooted beliefs that work against your conscious efforts. The subconscious doesn't respond to logical reasoning or willpower. Instead, it operates on a much deeper level, using emotion, memory, and association to guide your actions. The conscious mind operates like a spotlight, directing your attention to a narrow focus on your current task or thought. It's where your logical reasoning takes place, where short-term memory is processed, and where you make deliberate decisions. On the other hand, the subconscious mind is like the stage upon which your entire life plays out. While you may not be consciously aware of it, the subconscious mind holds a vast amount of information, including your past experiences, emotional memories, and belief systems. It influences the way you see the world, the decisions you make, and the way you react to situations. This is the primary reason why trying to change a deeply ingrained habit or belief using only the conscious mind often leads to frustration and failure. The subconscious is not bound by time, logic, or reason. It doesn't differentiate between helpful beliefs, and harmful ones. Its primary function is to maintain what it believes is a safe and familiar pattern, even if those patterns are self-destructive. Conscious versus subconscious. Who's really in charge? This brings us to an important question. Who's really in charge of your life? Is it your conscious mind, which seems to be making deliberate decisions, or is it your subconscious, which quietly steers the ship? The answer may surprise you. While the conscious mind certainly plays a role in your decisions and actions, it is the subconscious mind that is the true powerhouse behind your behaviors. The conscious mind can be likened to the captain of a ship, issuing commands and planning courses of action, while the subconscious is the engine that propels the ship forward, regardless of whether the captain is paying attention to every little detail. Think about it. Your conscious mind can make decisions, but only within a limited scope. You may decide, for instance, that you want to start a new diet, but the subconscious mind is the one that holds the old patterns of behavior, the habitual way of eating, the emotional associations with food, and the ingrained beliefs about your body and self-worth. The subconscious mind is programmed to protect you, often by preserving what feels familiar, even if it isn't serving you in the long run. It is the subconscious that runs on autopilot, responding to familiar stimuli in the same ways it always has. So, when you make a conscious decision to change your habits, your subconscious mind may resist because it's not convinced the change will be safe or beneficial. It doesn't necessarily know that your conscious mind has made a healthier choice for you. It's simply doing its job of keeping you in your comfort zone. The role of the subconscious mind is not to hinder change, but to ensure your survival by sticking with what is familiar and known. The challenge arises when the familiar isn't actually in your best interest. For instance, you might consciously decide to exercise more, but your subconscious mind may associate physical activity with feelings of discomfort or past experiences of failure. The key here is understanding that the subconscious operates without logical reasoning. It's driven by emotional memories and patterns of thought that have been ingrained over years of experience. The good news is, with the right tools, you can communicate with your subconscious mind, shift these patterns, and begin to reprogram your mental software to work in alignment with your conscious goals. Where beliefs are born. Beliefs are not just abstract concepts. They are powerful forces that shape our entire lives. They influence how we see the world, how we interpret events, and how we interact with others. Beliefs are deeply rooted in the subconscious mind, often formed during childhood, and they can have a profound impact on every aspect of your life. These beliefs can be positive, empowering, and life-enhancing, or they can be limiting, disempowering, and self-sabotaging. It's important to realize that beliefs are not based on objective truth, but are the interpretations we make of our experiences. The process of belief formation begins early in life, when the mind is highly impressionable. From the moment you are born, you begin to accumulate information from your environment through interactions with your parents, caregivers, teachers, and peers, as well as the messages you receive from society and the media. Your subconscious mind is constantly absorbing this information, taking it all in without filtering or analyzing it. The early years of your life, when your brain is developing at its fastest rate, are crucial in forming the foundational beliefs that will shape the rest of your life. If you grew up in an environment where love and affection were conditional, you may internalize the belief that you are only worthy of love if you meet certain expectations. If you were taught that money is hard to come by, you may carry the belief that wealth is something unattainable. These beliefs are not always true, but they become so deeply ingrained in your subconscious mind that they influence your actions, even if you are not consciously aware of them. What's fascinating about beliefs is that they can be passed down through generations. Family dynamics, cultural values, and societal norms all play a role in shaping the beliefs you hold. As a child, you don't question these beliefs, you simply accept them as your reality. But as you grow older, you begin to see that your beliefs might not serve you. You might wonder why you struggle with money, relationships, or health, even though you consciously desire success in these areas. This is often because your subconscious beliefs are in conflict with your conscious desires. The good news is that beliefs are not fixed. They are malleable, and through conscious effort and the right techniques, you can change the beliefs that limit your potential. The subconscious and your daily decisions. Every decision you make, from the mundane to the life-altering, is influenced by your subconscious mind. In fact, research suggests that up to 95% of your daily decisions are made subconsciously. Your conscious mind may think it's in control, but in reality, most of the time, you are being guided by automatic thought patterns and behavioral scripts that have been running in the background of your mind for years. These subconscious influences can be both helpful and harmful, depending on what beliefs and habits are driving your behavior. For example, when you wake up in the morning, your subconscious mind is already hard at work. It's influencing everything from the way you feel when you open your eyes to the way you move through your morning routine. If you've conditioned yourself to wake up with a positive mindset, the subconscious mind will help you start the day with enthusiasm and energy. But if your subconscious mind is filled with negative beliefs or stress from past experiences, it can dictate how you approach the day. This is why many people find themselves stuck in negative cycles. The subconscious mind operates on autopilot, reacting to familiar stimuli, and it doesn't easily adapt to new patterns or beliefs. This is why self-help techniques like affirmations, visualization, and mindfulness are so effective. They allow you to reprogram the subconscious mind, replacing old patterns with new, more empowering ones. When you consciously focus on changing your mental programming, you begin to shift the way your subconscious influences your decisions and behaviors. The subconscious mind also plays a key role in how you interact with others. Your subconscious beliefs about yourself, your worth, and your place in the world shape the way you communicate, the relationships you attract, and the opportunities you pursue. If you have deeply held beliefs about not being good enough, you may subconsciously sabotage your chances at success or avoid situations where you could shine. On the other hand, if you hold empowering beliefs about your abilities and your worth, your subconscious mind will guide you toward opportunities that align with those beliefs. By learning to recognize the subconscious patterns that are influencing your daily decisions, you can begin to break free from limiting beliefs and take more conscious control of your life. Chapter 2: The Blueprint of Belief Childhood. Programming and Early Conditioning. From the moment you are born, your subconscious mind is like a sponge, absorbing everything in its environment. This process of absorbing information and experiences, known as conditioning, shapes how you will perceive the world and how you will respond to it throughout your life. During the first few years of life, the brain is incredibly impressionable. This is why early childhood experiences have such a profound impact on your subconscious programming. The experiences, beliefs, and values you are exposed to in your formative years are stored deep in your subconscious, creating an underlying framework that influences how you think, feel, and behave. These early influences come from the people around you, particularly your parents, caregivers, and other significant figures in your life. Every interaction, every message, and every event leaves an impression on your mind, whether you realize it or not. As a child, you are not capable of critically evaluating the world around you. You simply absorb what you are told and observe the behaviors of those around you. If you grew up in an environment where love and approval were conditional upon your achievements, you might have internalized the belief that you are only worthy of love if you meet certain expectations. Alternatively, if you were constantly praised and encouraged, you might have developed a strong sense of self-worth and confidence. The messages you received, both spoken and unspoken, formed the foundation for how you would view yourself, others, and the world as a whole. These early experiences don't simply disappear as you grow older. They become the blueprint for the beliefs that govern your thoughts and behaviors throughout life. However, not all childhood conditioning is positive. Many people grow up with limiting beliefs that hold them back in adulthood. For example, if a child is constantly told they are not good enough or that they will never succeed, they may internalize these beliefs and carry them into adulthood. These beliefs then shape their behavior, often in ways that are self-sabotaging. Childhood programming can create deep emotional wounds that influence how you approach relationships, success, and even your own self-esteem. Recognizing the impact of your childhood conditioning is the first step toward reprogramming your subconscious mind and changing the beliefs that no longer serve you. Once you understand that many of your current thoughts and behaviors are simply the result of early conditioning, you can begin the process of healing and transforming your subconscious beliefs. The origin of limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are those deeply ingrained convictions that hold you back from achieving your full potential. They are the mental roadblocks that prevent you from taking action, trying new things, or pursuing your goals. These beliefs often originate in early childhood, formed as a result of negative experiences, conditioning, or even trauma. They are deeply embedded in the subconscious mind and can shape your actions and decisions without you even being aware of them. Limiting beliefs can take many forms, but they all have one thing in common. They hold you back from living the life you desire, whether it's the belief that you are not good enough, that success is out of reach, or that you are unworthy of love. These beliefs create a barrier between you and your dreams. The origins of limiting beliefs are often rooted in past experiences, particularly those that were emotionally charged. If, as a child, you were constantly told that you weren't smart enough or that you would never amount to anything, your subconscious mind internalized these messages as truths. Over time, these beliefs become so deeply ingrained that they begin to shape your actions and decisions, often without your conscious awareness. For example, someone who believes they are not worthy of success may subconsciously avoid opportunities for advancement, sabotage their own efforts, or push people away. These limiting beliefs are powerful because they influence your behavior at a subconscious level, making it difficult to break free from them without consciously addressing and reprogramming them. The good news is that limiting beliefs are not permanent. They can be changed. However, doing so requires a deep understanding of where these beliefs come from and a willingness to confront the emotional experiences that gave rise to them. In order to change your limiting beliefs, you must first identify them. This can be a challenging process, as these beliefs are often deeply hidden in the subconscious mind. However, with self-awareness and introspection, you can begin to uncover the beliefs that are holding you back. Once you bring these beliefs to the surface, you can begin to challenge them and replace them with more empowering beliefs. The key is to recognize that limiting beliefs are not facts. They are simply thoughts that have been repeated over time and reinforced by past experiences. By changing the way you think and creating new mental patterns, you can break free from the limitations that have held you back. How beliefs shape your reality. Your beliefs are not just abstract concepts. They are powerful forces that shape your entire reality. Your thoughts and beliefs determine how you perceive the world around you and how you react to it. The lens through which you view life is shaped by your subconscious beliefs, and these beliefs, in turn, determine the experiences you attract. The idea that beliefs shape your reality is not just a philosophical notion. It is backed by science. Psychologists and neuroscientists have long recognized the profound impact that beliefs have on our lives. Our beliefs filter the information we receive from the world and influence the choices we make, often without us realizing it. In essence, your beliefs create your perception of reality, and your perception of reality dictates your experiences. If you believe that the world is a hostile and dangerous place, you are more likely to notice threats and dangers even in situations where there are none. On the other hand, if you believe that the world is a safe and abundant place, you are more likely to notice opportunities and positive experiences. This is known as the confirmation bias, the tendency to focus on information that confirms our pre-existing beliefs. For example, if you hold a belief that you are not good enough, you may subconsciously seek out experiences that reinforce that belief, such as situations where you fail or are criticized. Conversely, if you believe you are capable and deserving of success, you are more likely to seek out opportunities and experiences that validate this belief. This is why changing your beliefs is so powerful. By changing your subconscious beliefs, you can change the way you perceive the world and, in turn, change the experiences you attract. This shift in perception allows you to break free from old patterns and create a new reality that aligns with your desires and goals. The process of transforming your beliefs is not always easy, as it requires deep inner work and a willingness to confront the limiting beliefs that have been ingrained in your subconscious for years. However, by doing the work to reprogram your beliefs, you can unlock your true potential and create a life that is aligned with your highest aspirations. Recognizing invisible patterns. One of the most powerful aspects of the subconscious mind is its ability to create invisible patterns in our lives. These patterns are often so deeply ingrained that we fail to notice them, even though they dictate much of our behavior and decision-making. These invisible patterns are the result of repeated thoughts, beliefs, and experiences that have been stored in the subconscious mind over time. They can be positive or negative, but most often, they are limiting patterns that hold us back from living our best lives. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward breaking free from them and creating lasting change. Invisible patterns are often formed by repeated experiences that create emotional associations in the subconscious mind. For example, if you experienced repeated failure in a particular area of your life, such as relationships, career, or finances, your subconscious mind may form a pattern of belief that you are not capable of succeeding in that area. This belief becomes a subconscious program that guides your actions and decisions, often without your conscious awareness. These patterns can be deeply ingrained, and they often operate automatically, shaping your behavior in ways that are counterproductive to your goals. The challenge is to recognize these invisible patterns and bring them into your conscious awareness. Recognizing invisible patterns requires self-awareness and introspection. It involves taking a deep look at your behavior, thoughts, and emotions to identify recurring themes that may be holding you back. This can be a difficult process, as many of these patterns are so ingrained in your subconscious mind that they feel like a natural part of who you are. However, by paying attention to your reactions, thoughts, and emotional triggers, you can begin to uncover the hidden beliefs and patterns that are influencing your life. Once you bring these patterns into your conscious awareness, you can begin to shift them, replacing them with new, more empowering patterns that align with your goals and desires. Chapter 3: Emotional Imprints and Mental Loops. Emotional memory and trauma storage. Emotions are deeply tied to memory, and the way we experience emotions can leave lasting imprints on our subconscious mind. These emotional imprints are often created in response to events that are particularly intense or significant in our lives. When we experience strong emotions, especially negative ones like fear, shame, anger, or sadness, the brain stores these emotional experiences in the subconscious mind. These emotional memories are not just recollections of what happened. They are the sensations, the feelings, and the emotional charges that accompanied those events. They become stored in our energy system and can continue to influence us long after the event itself has passed. In many cases, we may not even be consciously aware of the emotional imprints we are carrying, but they affect our behavior, thoughts, and reactions in profound ways. The process of emotional memory storage is deeply connected to the way the brain functions. When an emotionally charged event occurs, the brain activates the amygdala, which is responsible for processing emotions and storing emotional memories. This part of the brain acts like a filing cabinet, storing emotional reactions alongside the experiences that triggered them. Over time, these emotional memories accumulate and form a repository of past emotional experiences that guide our subconscious responses to similar situations. For example, if you were involved in a traumatic event, such as a car accident or a heated argument, the emotional charge associated with that event might be stored in your subconscious mind. The next time you find yourself in a similar situation, your subconscious mind may trigger the same emotional response, even if the circumstances are not exactly the same. These emotional imprints can create automatic responses to situations, making it difficult to break free from old patterns of thinking and behavior. When emotional memories are stored in the subconscious mind, they can continue to affect us even when we no longer consciously remember the events that caused them. This phenomenon is often referred to as emotional baggage. The weight of unresolved emotions can manifest in various ways, such as anxiety, depression, stress, or a general sense of unease. People often carry these emotional imprints throughout their lives without realizing their influence. This is why it is so important to address emotional trauma and work through unresolved emotions in order to release their hold on your subconscious mind. By processing these emotions and integrating the lessons they offer, you can begin to heal the emotional wounds that may be influencing your thoughts, behaviors, and decisions. Understanding the way emotional memory works is a critical step in freeing yourself from past experiences that no longer serve you. The feedback loop of thoughts and feelings. The relationship between our thoughts and feelings is incredibly powerful. It is often said that our thoughts create our emotions, but the reverse is equally true. Our emotions can shape our thoughts. This dynamic creates a feedback loop that can either work for us or against us, depending on whether our thoughts and emotions are positive or negative. This loop operates at the level of the subconscious mind, which means that the patterns we develop through repeated thought-emotion cycles can become automatic. In this way, our subconscious mind becomes programmed to respond to certain situations with particular thoughts and feelings. Over time, these cycles of thought and emotion reinforce one another, creating deeply ingrained emotional habits that are difficult to break. For example, if you find yourself thinking negative thoughts, such as, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed," these thoughts will trigger corresponding negative emotions such as sadness, frustration, or anxiety. These emotions, in turn, can reinforce your negative thoughts, creating a cycle of self-doubt and insecurity. The more you engage in this cycle, the more deeply ingrained it becomes in your subconscious mind. The feedback loop between thoughts and feelings can create a powerful internal environment that either supports or undermines your sense of self-worth and your ability to achieve your goals. The more negative your thoughts and emotions are, the more difficult it becomes to break free from this loop and create a new, healthier mindset. However, the feedback loop is not inherently negative. By consciously changing your thoughts, you can influence your emotions and vice versa. If you begin to think positive, empowering thoughts, such as, "I am capable" or "I deserve success," you will begin to feel more confident, motivated, and optimistic. This, in turn, will reinforce your positive thinking, creating a feedback loop that supports your growth and progress. The key to breaking free from negative thought-emotion cycles is to become aware of the loop and take deliberate steps to interrupt it. By consciously choosing to focus on positive thoughts and cultivate empowering emotions, you can reprogram your subconscious mind and create new, more supportive patterns of thinking and feeling. Triggers and reactions. Decoding emotional habits. Emotional triggers are events, situations, or stimuli that provoke an immediate emotional response. These triggers are often rooted in past experiences or unresolved emotional wounds, They are like little buttons that get pushed, causing us to react automatically, often without thinking. For instance, if you were criticized as a child or experienced a painful rejection, you may have developed an emotional trigger around criticism or rejection. When you encounter similar situations as an adult, your subconscious mind may react with the same emotional intensity as you did in your childhood. This is the subconscious mind's way of trying to protect you from emotional pain, even if the situation doesn't warrant such a reaction. These emotional reactions can be intense, and in many cases, they are disproportionate to the current situation. They are simply the subconscious mind's way of replaying old patterns of thought and emotion. Understanding emotional triggers is essential to breaking free from automatic, knee-jerk reactions. By recognizing when you are being triggered, you can take a step back and evaluate whether your emotional response is appropriate for the situation at hand. For example, if someone criticizes your work and you feel an intense rush of anger or defensiveness, it may be because your subconscious mind is reacting to a past experience where criticism was perceived as a threat or personal attack. Recognizing this pattern allows you to detach from the emotional reaction and respond in a more grounded and constructive way. It also allows you to address the underlying issue in your subconscious mind that is causing the emotional trigger, whether it is a fear of rejection, a lack of self-worth, or unresolved childhood trauma. In addition to identifying your triggers, it is also important to explore the emotional habits that develop around them. Emotional habits are patterns of feeling and reacting that are reinforced over time. For example, if you have a habit of feeling anxious whenever you face uncertainty, this anxiety can become a deeply ingrained emotional habit. Over time, the subconscious mind begins to anticipate the anxiety and prepares you to feel it whenever you are confronted with situations that trigger it. This creates a self-perpetuating cycle of emotional reactions that can be difficult to break. By recognizing these emotional habits and understanding the underlying beliefs and experiences that fuel them, you can begin to dismantle the emotional triggers that no longer serve you. The key is to take conscious control over your emotional responses and actively choose to respond in a way that aligns with your goals and values. How to break the cycle? Breaking the cycle of negative emotional loops requires both awareness and action. The first step is becoming aware of the patterns you are running, whether they are related to thoughts, emotions, or reactions. Often, these patterns are so deeply ingrained in the subconscious mind that we don't even realize we're operating on autopilot. Becoming aware of the cycle is the first crucial step toward breaking it. This requires mindfulness and introspection, as well as a willingness to confront the emotions, beliefs, and experiences that have shaped the cycle. Once you become aware of the pattern, you can begin to interrupt it and introduce new ways of thinking and feeling. One powerful way to break the cycle is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being present and fully engaged with the current moment without judgment. By cultivating mindfulness, you can create space between your emotional triggers and your reactions. This allows you to respond to situations with greater clarity and intention, rather than simply reacting from a place of habit. Mindfulness allows you to observe your emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them, and it creates the opportunity to choose a different response. This can be incredibly helpful in breaking negative emotional loops and creating new, healthier patterns of thinking and feeling. Another effective strategy for breaking the cycle is through emotional processing. This involves allowing yourself to fully experience and release the emotions that are fueling the loop. Rather than suppressing or avoiding your emotions, you can allow yourself to feel them fully, acknowledging their presence and releasing them in a healthy way. This might involve talking to a therapist, journaling, or practicing breathwork or other emotional release techniques. The goal is to allow the emotional energy to move through you, rather than getting stuck in your body or subconscious mind. By releasing the emotional charge attached to the triggering events, you can begin to break the cycle and create space for new, more positive emotional responses. Chapter 4. The language your mind understands symbols, repetition, and suggestion. The subconscious mind operates in a language that is both universal and deeply personal. It doesn't understand words in the way that the conscious mind does. Rather, it processes symbols, images, and sensations. In the language of the subconscious, pictures are far more powerful than words. When we use symbols or imagery, we are directly speaking to the subconscious mind. This is why metaphors, dreams, and visual imagery are so commonly used in therapy and personal development techniques. For example, when someone envisions themselves as a tree growing roots deep into the earth, their subconscious mind interprets this symbol as a representation of grounding, stability, and growth. The subconscious doesn't dissect the metaphor as the conscious mind would. It simply accepts it and integrates it into its network of beliefs, behaviors, and perceptions. Symbols, however, aren't limited to mental imagery. They can also include words and concepts that carry deeper meanings based on personal associations. Take the word home, for instance. For some, it may symbolize warmth, safety, and love, while for others, it might evoke feelings of restriction or discomfort. This illustrates how the subconscious mind doesn't just respond to words in isolation, but to the emotional charge and symbolic meaning those words carry. Because of this, it is important to be mindful of the language we use, both consciously and subconsciously. Repetition plays a crucial role in imprinting these symbols into the subconscious. The more often an idea or image is repeated, the more likely it is to become a part of the subconscious programming. This is why affirmations, mantras, and visualization practices can be so effective in rewiring the subconscious. The more we repeat certain thoughts, ideas, or images, the more entrenched they become in our inner world, shaping our beliefs, actions, and experiences. Similarly, suggestion is another powerful tool the subconscious responds to. When we suggest certain ideas or beliefs to ourselves or others, the subconscious mind begins to absorb them without question, particularly if they align with the emotional tone of the suggestion. The power of suggestion is evident in many areas of life. In advertising, for example, companies use repeated visual and verbal cues to suggest certain desires and needs to the consumer. Over time, these repeated suggestions influence purchasing behaviors, often without the consumer's conscious awareness. Similarly, self-hypnosis relies on the power of suggestion to create changes in behavior, thought patterns, and even physical conditions. The subconscious mind, in its receptive state, is particularly vulnerable to suggestions, and this is why it's so important to carefully curate the messages we expose ourselves to on a daily basis. The language of the subconscious is a powerful tool for change, but it must be approached with awareness and intention. The role of emotion in communication. Emotion is the universal language of the subconscious. While words are a tool for expressing ideas, it is the emotional tone behind the words that communicates directly to the subconscious mind. The subconscious doesn't understand logic or reason in the same way the conscious mind does. Instead, it understands feelings, energy, and emotion. When we communicate with others, whether through speech, body language, or even thought, the emotional charge behind our words is what has the most impact on them. This is why two people can hear the same sentence, but one might feel inspired and the other offended. The emotion carried in the message is absorbed by the subconscious mind of the listener and shapes their internal response. This emotional energy is not just confined to interpersonal communication. It also plays a significant role in how we communicate with ourselves. Our self-talk, the internal dialogue we carry on in our heads, speaks directly to our subconscious mind, and it is often driven by emotional states. If our self-talk is laced with anxiety, fear, or self-doubt, these emotions become embedded in our subconscious, influencing how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. Conversely, If our self-talk is positive and uplifting, the subconscious will align with those emotions, fostering a sense of confidence, empowerment, and well-being. This dynamic is why emotional regulation is such an essential tool for personal growth and subconscious programming. By consciously choosing to imbue our language with positive emotions, we can gradually reprogram our subconscious mind to respond in healthier, more constructive ways. The power of emotion in communication can also be seen in the realm of visualization. When we use imagery and mental pictures to communicate our desires to the subconscious, the emotional component is what gives the vision its potency. For instance, if you visualize achieving a goal, but do so without any emotional connection or excitement, your subconscious will not register the image with the same intensity as if you were to feel the joy, pride, and satisfaction of having already achieved it. Emotion is the fuel that drives the subconscious mind, and without it, our thoughts and visualizations may not be as effective in manifesting change. The more emotionally charged the image or thought, the more it is likely to imprint itself in the subconscious, influencing both our behaviors and our reality. Power of imagination and visualization. Imagination is the bridge between the conscious and subconscious mind. It allows us to project images, concepts, and ideas from our conscious awareness into the subconscious, where they can be processed and integrated. Visualization, a form of directed imagination, is one of the most powerful tools for reprogramming the subconscious mind. Through visualization, we can create vivid mental images of our desired outcomes, future successes, or the person we wish to become. The more detailed and realistic these images are, the more effectively they engage the subconscious mind. When we visualize, we are not simply seeing images. We are also embedding emotions, feelings, and physical sensations into the experience, which makes it more real and compelling to the subconscious. For example, if you are visualizing yourself giving a successful presentation at work, the more sensory details you can add, the more impactful the visualization will be. Imagine the sound of your voice, the expressions on people's faces, the feeling of confidence and control as you speak, and the sense of accomplishment as you finish. By including all of these sensory elements, you are effectively creating a full experience for your subconscious mind. The subconscious does not differentiate between a vividly imagined event and one that is happening in reality. When we visualize an event, the subconscious mind responds as though it is already occurring. This is why athletes, performers, and high achievers often use visualization techniques to enhance their performance. They mentally rehearse their success before it happens, allowing their subconscious to prepare for it and make it a reality. Visualization is not limited to specific outcomes. It can also be used to cultivate positive emotions, develop new skills, or break old patterns. By visualizing yourself behaving in a way that is consistent with the person you wish to become, you can begin to align your subconscious beliefs and behaviors with that vision. For instance, if you struggle with self-confidence, you might visualize yourself confidently walking into social situations, speaking with ease, and feeling comfortable in your own skin. As you continue to visualize this version of yourself, your subconscious mind will start to accept it as your new reality. The more consistently you practice visualization, the more your subconscious will adapt, and the easier it will become to embody the qualities you desire, talking to your subconscious with intent. When we communicate with the subconscious mind, it is essential that we do so with clarity and intention. The subconscious is always listening, but it requires precise, focused communication to make lasting changes. It is not enough to simply repeat words or affirmations without a clear sense of purpose. The subconscious responds best when it understands the intent behind the communication. This is where the power of conscious awareness comes into play. If you are using affirmations, for example, it is important to say them with a deep sense of belief and purpose. Simply repeating, "I am confident," without truly believing it, will not have the same impact as saying it with full intention, visualizing yourself as a confident person, and feeling the emotions associated with that confidence. Intentionality also plays a role in how we shape our goals and desires. When we have a clear, specific goal in mind, the subconscious mind can focus on aligning the conscious and subconscious processes to achieve it. When we speak to the subconscious with intent, we are essentially programming it to work in our favor, aligning our thoughts, actions, and behaviors with our desires. This is why setting clear intentions is so important when trying to manifest change in our lives. Whether we are visualizing, repeating affirmations, or simply thinking about our goals, the key is to engage the subconscious mind with intention, infusing our thoughts and actions with clarity and purpose. In the same way, the subconscious mind can be influenced by the messages we receive from others. When we are exposed to positive suggestions, affirmations, or supportive feedback, the subconscious mind accepts these messages and integrates them into our belief system. This is why it is so important to surround ourselves with people and environments that reinforce the positive intentions we wish to cultivate. When we communicate with our subconscious mind, we are not only influencing ourselves, but also shaping the reality we experience. By speaking to the subconscious with clarity, emotion, and intent, we can create lasting change and align ourselves with our highest potential. Chapter 5. Tools to access the subconscious. Meditation and mindfulness. Meditation is one of the most profound tools available to us for accessing the subconscious mind, offering a gateway to deeper levels of awareness and understanding. It serves as a bridge between the conscious and subconscious minds, allowing us to tune into the inner workings of our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. Through regular practice, meditation helps us cultivate an enhanced state of mindfulness, where we can observe our thoughts without judgment and become more attuned to the subtle workings of the subconscious. The key to meditation is its ability to quiet the chatter of the conscious mind, creating space for the deeper, often unnoticed impulses of the subconscious to surface. As we meditate, we begin to relax the body and mind, lowering the frequency of brainwaves and entering a state of deeper awareness, typically in the alpha or theta brainwave states. These states are associated with relaxation, creativity, and the ability to access the subconscious mind more easily. In these states, the mind becomes more receptive to suggestions, affirmations, and visualizations, making meditation an ideal tool for reprogramming negative beliefs or patterns of behavior. When we meditate with intention, we can bring awareness to specific areas of our lives where we wish to experience change. For instance, if we want to foster more self-love or reduce anxiety, meditation can help us tune into these emotions and rewire the subconscious mind by promoting new, healthier thought patterns. Through consistent practice, we can train the mind to enter these states more readily, allowing us to access deeper layers of the subconscious and create lasting shifts in our lives. Mindfulness, a practice closely related to meditation, is equally effective in accessing the subconscious mind. While meditation often involves setting aside dedicated time for quiet reflection, mindfulness is the practice of bringing conscious awareness to the present moment in every aspect of life. By being mindful, we can begin to notice the subtle ways in which the subconscious mind influences our daily experiences, whether through automatic reactions, habitual thought patterns, or emotional responses. When we practice mindfulness, we train ourselves to observe these patterns without getting caught up in them, creating an opportunity for conscious choice. For example, if we notice a pattern of negative self-talk or self-sabotage, mindfulness allows us to recognize these thoughts as they arise, giving us the opportunity to shift them before they become ingrained in our subconscious. The beauty of mindfulness is its simplicity. It doesn't require a specific setting or long periods of time. Instead, it allows us to be present in each moment and make conscious decisions about how we want to respond to our thoughts and feelings. In both meditation and mindfulness, the power lies in the ability to quiet the noise of the conscious mind and access the deeper layers of the subconscious. These practices offer tools to increase our awareness, cultivate inner peace, and transform limiting beliefs or negative patterns. As we make meditation and mindfulness a regular part of our lives, we gradually reprogram the subconscious mind, leading to a more harmonious and empowered way of living. Self-hypnosis and autosuggestion. Self-hypnosis is a powerful technique that allows us to enter a deeply relaxed state and directly influence the subconscious mind through suggestion. In this state, the conscious mind becomes less dominant, and the subconscious becomes more open and receptive to new ideas, beliefs, and behaviors. Self-hypnosis can be used for a variety of purposes, including overcoming fears, changing habits, improving performance, and healing emotional wounds. The process typically involves deep relaxation, focused attention, and the repetition of positive affirmations or visualizations. By guiding ourselves into this state, we can access the subconscious mind more easily and make meaningful changes at a deeper level. The key to self-hypnosis is the ability to relax both the body and the mind. When we enter a state of deep relaxation, the brainwave frequency slows down, and we enter a hypnagogic state between wakefulness and sleep, where the subconscious mind is most accessible. In this relaxed state, the subconscious mind becomes highly suggestible, meaning that the affirmations or visualizations we use can be absorbed more easily. For instance, if we want to reduce stress, we might use self-hypnosis to suggest to the subconscious mind that we are calm, centered, and at peace. Through repetition and consistent practice, these suggestions can become deeply ingrained in the subconscious, leading to lasting changes in our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Autosuggestion is closely related to self-hypnosis, as it involves the process of making positive suggestions to the subconscious mind, but without necessarily entering a deeply relaxed state. Autosuggestion can be used at any time, and it involves repeating affirmations or positive statements that support the desired change. For example, if we want to improve our self-esteem, we might repeat the affirmation, "I am worthy and deserving of love and success," several times throughout the day. The power of autosuggestion lies in the repetition of these positive statements, which gradually reprogram the subconscious mind to align with the new beliefs. Over time, as the subconscious mind absorbs these suggestions, the individual begins to internalize them, leading to changes in their behavior, attitudes, and overall sense of self. Both self-hypnosis and autosuggestion are effective tools for accessing the subconscious mind and creating lasting change. They allow us to directly influence the subconscious by bypassing the conscious mind's resistance and making positive suggestions that align with our goals and desires. Whether through deep relaxation in self-hypnosis or the repeated use of affirmations in autosuggestion, these techniques empower us to take control of our subconscious programming and create the life we desire. Journaling and stream of consciousness. Writing journaling is another powerful tool for accessing the subconscious mind. Writing allows us to express our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs in a tangible form, which can help bring unconscious patterns into the light of conscious awareness. Through journaling, we can explore our inner world, uncover hidden beliefs, and gain insight into the ways in which our subconscious mind is influencing our thoughts and actions. Writing can be particularly helpful in clarifying complex emotions or thoughts that may be difficult to articulate otherwise. By putting our feelings into words, we create space for self-reflection and self-awareness, which is the first step in transforming negative patterns and beliefs. Stream of consciousness writing, in particular, is a method that allows us to bypass the conscious mind's filters and access the subconscious more directly. In stream of consciousness writing, the goal is to write without judgment or editing, allowing thoughts and feelings to flow freely onto the page. This type of writing can be particularly revealing, as it often uncovers underlying beliefs and emotions that we may not be fully aware of. For example, if we are struggling with self-doubt, stream of consciousness writing might reveal patterns of negative self-talk or past experiences that are contributing to these feelings. By bringing these thoughts to the surface, we can begin to challenge them and replace them with healthier, more empowering beliefs. Journaling and stream of consciousness writing are effective tools for accessing the subconscious because they create a space for introspection and self-discovery. Writing allows us to observe our thought patterns and emotions, and by doing so, we gain a greater understanding of how our subconscious mind operates. This awareness is the first step in creating lasting change. Once we become conscious of the subconscious beliefs and patterns that are limiting us, we can begin to reframe them and replace them with more positive, empowering beliefs. Journaling also provides a safe and private space for self-expression, allowing us to explore our innermost thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment. It is a practice that encourages self-compassion, self-awareness, and personal growth. The gateway state, alpha and theta brainwaves. The gateway state refers to the brainwave frequencies that allow us to access the subconscious mind more easily, specifically the alpha and theta brainwave states. These brainwave states are associated with deep relaxation, creativity, and heightened receptivity to suggestion. In the alpha state, the brain is relaxed but still alert, often referred to as the flow state, where we are open to new ideas and experiences. This state is typically experienced during light meditation, daydreaming, or when we are deeply engaged in a task that we enjoy. In this state, the subconscious mind is more accessible, and we can use techniques like affirmations, visualizations, and self-hypnosis to make lasting changes. The theta brainwave state is even deeper than alpha and is often associated with deep meditation, sleep, and the early stages of hypnagogia. In this state, the subconscious mind is highly receptive to suggestions and is in a state of deep relaxation. The theta state is often referred to as the gateway to the subconscious, as it is during this state that we can access deeper layers of the mind and reprogram limiting beliefs or behaviors. Many guided meditations and hypnosis techniques are designed to help us enter the theta state, where the subconscious mind is most malleable. In this state, we can visualize new outcomes, change old patterns, and create new beliefs that support our personal growth and transformation. Both the alpha and theta brainwave states are essential tools for accessing the subconscious mind. By intentionally guiding ourselves into these states, we can tap into the vast potential of the subconscious and begin to create meaningful changes in our lives. Whether through meditation, visualization, or self-hypnosis, these brainwave states provide the gateway to the deeper levels of our consciousness, where true transformation can occur. The more we practice entering these states, the more readily we can access the subconscious and align ourselves with our highest potential. In this chapter, we explored a variety of tools for accessing the subconscious mind, including meditation, mindfulness, self-hypnosis, autosuggestion, journaling, and the gateway states of alpha and theta brainwaves. Each of these tools provides a unique way to tap into the deeper layers of our consciousness, where lasting change can occur. By incorporating these practices into our daily lives, we can begin to reprogram the subconscious mind, replace limiting beliefs, and align ourselves with our desired outcomes. These tools offer a powerful way to take control of our inner world and create the life we truly desire. Chapter 6: Affirmations that actually work, the psychology of repetition. At the heart of affirmations lies the concept of repetition, which is both a psychological and physiological process essential for the reshaping of the subconscious mind. Our brain has an incredible capacity for forming neural pathways, and these pathways are strengthened through repeated actions, thoughts, or stimuli. Think of the mind as a fertile field, with every affirmation you repeat being like a seed planted in that field. Over time, with consistent repetition, these seeds take root, grow, and eventually shape the landscape of your thinking and behavior. The psychological principle behind this is based on neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. When we repeatedly focus on positive statements or beliefs, our brain rewires itself to reinforce these patterns, replacing old, limiting beliefs with new, empowering ones. Repetition works because it bypasses the conscious resistance of the mind. In the beginning, we may feel skeptical about the power of affirmations, especially if we've been conditioned by years of negative thought patterns or self-doubt. However, through constant repetition, our subconscious mind begins to accept these affirmations as truths, even if they don't initially resonate with us on a conscious level. This is particularly true when we consistently use affirmations in a relaxed, focused state, such as during meditation or right before sleep. During these times, the subconscious mind is more receptive to suggestion, and the affirmations we repeat become deeply ingrained, gradually shifting the way we perceive ourselves and the world around us. It's important to note that simply repeating affirmations without a sense of belief or emotion behind them can limit their effectiveness. To truly reprogram the subconscious, we need to align our emotions with our words. The brain doesn't just respond to words, it responds to the emotional charge behind those words. If we repeat an affirmation like, "I am confident and capable," but we feel no emotional connection to the words, the affirmation will lack the necessary energy to shift the subconscious mind. On the other hand, if we can feel the truth of that statement in our heart and let ourselves experience the emotions of confidence and capability, the affirmation becomes much more powerful. This is why affirmations are most effective when they are not just statements of fact, but also expressions of the emotions we want to cultivate. Constructing belief-based affirmations. Creating affirmations that resonate with your subconscious mind requires more than simply crafting positive statements. The key to successful affirmations is to ensure that they are rooted in the beliefs you want to cultivate, not just the outcomes you desire. This distinction is critical because the subconscious mind operates based on the beliefs it holds to be true, rather than on external circumstances. For example, if your goal is to attract abundance into your life, an affirmation like, "I am financially successful," might be too broad, and your subconscious mind may reject it due to lack of belief. Instead, crafting a belief-based affirmation that is more specific and aligned with your current state of mind might be more effective. A better affirmation in this case might be, "I am open to new opportunities for financial growth," or "I am deserving of wealth and success." The reason belief-based affirmations are so powerful is that they tap into the subconscious mind's existing framework of beliefs. If you try to affirm something that feels too distant from your current reality, the subconscious will reject it because it contradicts your existing belief systems. However, if you affirm beliefs that are slightly more aligned with your current understanding of yourself and the world, your subconscious is more likely to accept them and begin integrating them. Over time, as these affirmations become more deeply embedded, they start to reshape your worldview, paving the way for more expansive, transformative beliefs. Another important factor in constructing effective affirmations is to phrase them in the present tense, as though the desired outcome is already happening. The subconscious mind does not respond well to future-based thinking because it doesn't perceive time in the same way the conscious mind does. For example, instead of saying, "I will be confident," you might say, "I am confident now." This subtle shift in language helps to anchor the affirmation in the present moment, allowing the subconscious mind to accept it as a current truth. When affirmations are phrased in the present tense, they immediately engage the subconscious mind's automatic processes, reinforcing the belief as a lived reality rather than a distant possibility. The most powerful affirmations are also simple, clear, and concise. Complex affirmations that try to address too many issues at once can confuse the subconscious mind. The more focused and specific the affirmation, the easier it is for the subconscious to assimilate it. For example, if you're working on self-esteem, a clear affirmation like, "I love and accept myself completely," is more effective than trying to address a long list of negative self-beliefs all at once. The simplicity of a well-crafted affirmation allows it to penetrate deeply into the subconscious, where it can begin to overwrite old, limiting beliefs. Embedding emotion into words. Emotions are the language of the subconscious mind, and one of the most powerful ways to enhance the effectiveness of affirmations is by embedding emotion into the words. When we speak or think affirmations, the words themselves are important, but it is the emotional charge we attach to those words that truly catalyzes change. The subconscious mind responds more readily to emotions than to intellectual thoughts, which is why it is essential to infuse our affirmations with feelings of joy, gratitude, love, or empowerment. The more deeply we can feel the truth of the affirmation, the more effectively it will reprogram the subconscious mind. For instance, consider an affirmation like, "I am worthy of love and success." If you simply repeat this statement without connecting to the emotion of worthiness, the affirmation may fall flat. However, if you allow yourself to feel the emotion of deep self-worth as you speak those words, the affirmation becomes a powerful force for transformation. This emotional engagement is crucial because emotions create a deep imprint in the subconscious mind, making them more potent than mere thoughts or words. The more you practice this technique, the easier it becomes to bring up these emotions and use them to fuel your affirmations. The process of embedding emotion into your affirmations requires mindfulness and intention. Before you begin repeating your affirmations, take a moment to center yourself and tune into the emotion that corresponds to the affirmation. For example, if your affirmation is about financial abundance, imagine the joy and security that financial freedom would bring. Feel the excitement of receiving unexpected opportunities or the sense of accomplishment that comes from achieving your goals. As you infuse the affirmation with real emotion, you send a clear message to the subconscious that the desired outcome is not only possible, but also already being experienced on an emotional level. Incorporating emotions into affirmations also strengthens the neural connections associated with the belief. When the subconscious mind senses a strong emotional connection to a thought or idea, it is more likely to integrate that thought into its habitual patterns. This is why emotionally charged affirmations are so effective in rewiring the brain, because they speak directly to the subconscious in its primary language. Over time, these affirmations begin to influence not only your thoughts, but also your emotions, behaviors, and ultimately, your reality. Best times and methods to repeat affirmations. While the power of affirmations lies in their repetition, the timing and method of repetition can significantly enhance their effectiveness. The best times to repeat affirmations are when the subconscious mind is most receptive to new information, which typically occurs when the mind is in a relaxed, focused state. This is why the moments just before sleep and just after waking up are ideal for repeating affirmations. During these times, the conscious mind is less active and the subconscious mind is more open to suggestions. Just before sleep, the brain is naturally transitioning from the beta brainwave state, active, awake, to the alpha and theta states, relaxed, receptive. In these states, the mind is more likely to absorb and integrate new ideas. Repeating affirmations during this time ensures that they sink into the subconscious mind as you drift off to sleep, where they can continue to work while you rest. Similarly, upon waking, the mind is still in a theta or alpha state, making it an optimal time for affirmations. The brain is still in a relaxed, meditative state, allowing affirmations to bypass the conscious filters and directly influence the subconscious. In addition to timing, the method of repetition is also crucial. One effective method is to use visualization in conjunction with affirmations. As you repeat your affirmations, Close your eyes and visualize the outcome as vividly as possible. For example, if your affirmation is about success, imagine yourself achieving your goals, feeling the emotions of accomplishment, and experiencing the joy of success. The combination of words and imagery creates a more powerful imprint on the subconscious mind, as it engages both the verbal and visual aspects of the brain. Another effective method is the use of mirror work. By speaking your affirmations out loud in front of a mirror, you engage both the auditory and visual senses, reinforcing the affirmation with both sound and sight. This method is particularly powerful because it encourages self-acceptance and reinforces the belief in your own worthiness and ability to manifest your desires. We have explored the profound role that repetition, belief-based affirmations, emotional engagement, and timing play in reprogramming the subconscious mind. By understanding the psychology behind affirmations and using the right methods to repeat them consistently, we can harness the power of our subconscious to create lasting change in our lives. When we speak affirmations with intention, belief, and emotion, we not only transform our inner world, but also align ourselves with the reality we desire to create. Chapter 7. The Subconscious and Habit Mastery. How habits are stored in the subconscious. The human mind is a master at creating patterns, and habits are the prime example of how our subconscious mind operates. Once a behavior is repeated enough times, it becomes automatic, shifting from the conscious realm into the subconscious. This transition from conscious effort to subconscious automation is a crucial aspect of habit formation. At first, any new action requires deliberate thought and effort. Think back to when you first learned how to drive, for example. Initially, every move had to be consciously coordinated. You had to remember to check mirrors, signal, and be aware of your surroundings. But with repetition, these actions became ingrained in your subconscious mind. So now you drive without thinking about every movement, as the behavior has been hardwired into your brain. This process of transferring behavior from the conscious mind to the subconscious involves the creation of neural pathways. When you repeat an action over and over, your brain forms new connections between neurons. These connections strengthen with each repetition, making the behavior easier and more automatic. This is the foundation of habit formation. Over time, these habits no longer require conscious thought. They simply become part of your daily routine. The subconscious mind becomes the keeper of these automated behaviors, managing them without you needing to exert any mental energy. This is why habits are so powerful. They are deeply embedded in the subconscious, shaping your daily life and influencing your actions without you even being aware of it. However, while the subconscious mind is efficient at storing and reinforcing positive habits, it is also equally adept at maintaining negative or limiting behaviors. The same mechanism that allows us to establish good habits can also make undesirable habits difficult to break. These habits, whether they are unhealthy eating patterns, procrastination, or negative thought cycles, are deeply ingrained in the subconscious mind, which continues to reinforce them until something shifts. The challenge lies in rewiring these subconscious habits, replacing them with new, healthier patterns. This requires intentional effort, a deep understanding of how the subconscious operates, and the right tools to break the cycle and reprogram the mind. The key to mastering habits is understanding how the subconscious mind creates and maintains them. Habits are not just behaviors. They are neural programs embedded in your subconscious. When you recognize that your habits are rooted in the subconscious, it becomes easier to approach the process of habit change with patience and persistence. You are not simply trying to alter your behavior. You are rewiring the very patterns in your mind that drive your actions. By doing so, you are not only changing your habits, but also transforming your entire mindset, making it possible to live a life that is aligned with your true desires and intentions. The habit loop. Cue, routine, reward. At the core of every habit lies a simple structure known as the habit loop. This loop is made up of three key components: the cue, the routine, and the reward. The cue is the trigger that initiates the habit. It can be an external event, an emotional state, or even a time of day. For example, feeling stressed may trigger the urge to smoke, or waking up in the morning may trigger the routine of having a cup of coffee. The cue is the starting point of the habit loop, signaling the subconscious mind that it's time to engage in the behavior. Once the cue is received, the subconscious mind activates the routine. The routine is the actual behavior or action that follows the cue. This could be anything from checking your phone first thing in the morning to eating a sugary snack when you're feeling down. The routine is the automatic behavior that has been reinforced through repetition. The more you engage in the routine, the more your subconscious mind strengthens the neural connections associated with it, making the habit more ingrained over time. Finally, the reward is the outcome or benefit you gain from completing the routine. This is what reinforces the habit loop and makes it sustainable. The reward could be physical, like the feeling of satisfaction after eating a piece of chocolate, or emotional, like the sense of relief or comfort that comes from smoking a cigarette. The reward is what the subconscious mind craves, and it is what motivates the mind to repeat the habit over and over again. Over time, the subconscious mind associates the cue with the routine, and the reward becomes the driving force that keeps the cycle going. Understanding this habit loop is crucial when it comes to mastering your habits. To change a habit, you need to understand each of its components and how they work together. Simply trying to eliminate the routine without addressing the cue or reward will often lead to frustration, as the subconscious mind will continue to crave the reward, triggering the same behavior in the future. The key to breaking unwanted habits is to interrupt the loop and replace the old routine with a new one that provides a similar reward. This can be done by identifying the underlying cue, understanding the emotional or physical need that the habit is fulfilling, and finding a healthier, more constructive way to meet that need. For example, if you struggle with the habit of eating unhealthy snacks when stressed, the cue may be the feeling of stress itself. The routine is reaching for the snack, and the reward is the temporary relief you feel from the stress. To break the cycle, you would need to find a new routine that provides a similar sense of relief, such as taking a walk, meditating, or practicing deep breathing. By repeatedly engaging in the new routine in response to the same cue, stress, the subconscious mind will eventually form new neural pathways that make the healthier habit automatic, while the old, unhealthy habit fades away. Replacing versus removing habits. One of the most common misconceptions about habit change is that you need to completely remove the old habit in order to replace it. In reality, the process of habit change is more effective when you focus on replacing the old habit with a new one, rather than trying to remove it altogether. This approach works because the subconscious mind does not like a void. It will always seek to fill the space left by the old habit with something else. If you try to simply eliminate a habit without providing a healthier alternative, the mind will often default back to the old behavior, especially when faced with stress or temptation. The key to lasting habit change is to replace the old behavior with a new one that provides the same or similar reward. This process is known as habit substitution. For example, if your goal is to stop smoking, simply telling yourself to quit may not be effective, as the subconscious mind is strongly wired to associate smoking with a sense of relief or pleasure. Instead, you can replace smoking with a healthier activity that provides the same reward, such as deep breathing or exercise. By consistently replacing the old habit with a new positive one, the subconscious mind will gradually begin to associate the new behavior with the same feelings of satisfaction or relief, making the new habit automatic over time. Replacing habits requires patience and persistence. It's important to understand that the subconscious mind is deeply resistant to change, especially when it comes to well-established habits. However, with consistent effort and the right tools, it is possible to reprogram the subconscious to adopt new behaviors that align with your goals and values. The process of habit substitution is not about willpower. It's about understanding how the subconscious mind operates and strategically using its natural processes to create lasting change. Creating rituals that reinforce your identity. One of the most powerful ways to master your habits is to integrate them into your sense of self. When a habit becomes part of your identity, it becomes much easier to sustain. The subconscious mind responds strongly to identity-based beliefs because it seeks to maintain consistency between our self-concept and our actions. For example, if you identify as a healthy person, it becomes easier to make healthy choices because those choices align with your self-image. Similarly, if you identify as a disciplined person, sticking to your goals and routines becomes more natural because they are in line with the person you believe yourself to be. Creating rituals that reinforce your identity can be an incredibly effective way to solidify new habits. A ritual is a specific, repeated behavior that becomes part of your daily routine and aligns with your goals. For example, if you want to develop a habit of exercising regularly, you can create a ritual around your workout routine that makes it feel like an integral part of who you are. Perhaps you wake up at the same time every morning, put on your workout clothes, and follow a set routine that makes exercise feel like a non-negotiable part of your identity. Over time, this ritual will become a deeply ingrained habit, reinforcing your identity as an active, health-conscious person. The subconscious mind thrives on consistency, and rituals provide a framework for that consistency. By creating rituals that align with your desired habits, you are essentially programming your subconscious mind to see these behaviors as an essential part of who you are. This makes it much easier to stick to new habits, as they no longer feel like external tasks or chores, but rather like expressions of your true self. The more you reinforce these rituals, the stronger they become, until they are firmly embedded in your subconscious mind. Mastering your habits is a journey of self-discovery and transformation. By understanding how habits are formed and using the principles of the subconscious mind, you can break free from negative patterns and create new habits that align with your goals. With patience, persistence, and the right mindset, you can reprogram your subconscious mind to support your desired behaviors, ultimately creating a life that reflects the person you want to become. Chapter 8: Visualization and Mental Rehearsal. Seeing is believing. Why visualization works. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools at our disposal when it comes to reprogramming the subconscious mind. The principle behind visualization is simple yet profound. By vividly imagining a desired outcome or experience, we are able to create neural pathways in the brain that simulate actual experience. What's fascinating about the human brain is that it doesn't distinguish between an experience you're actually living in the moment and one you're vividly imagining. The same areas of the brain that are activated when you physically perform an action are also activated when you mentally rehearse it. This means that when you visualize yourself achieving a goal, your brain begins to form neural connections as if you were already living that reality. The science behind this phenomenon is rooted in neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and reorganize itself in response to experiences and learning. When you engage in mental rehearsal, you are training your brain, forming new neural connections, and strengthening the ones that align with your goals. For example, if you visualize yourself giving a successful presentation, your brain will begin to strengthen the neural circuits associated with public speaking. It will also enhance your confidence and reduce anxiety as your subconscious mind comes to associate the experience with success and mastery. Over time, these visualizations build a mental map of success, making it more likely that you will manifest that success in your real life. Furthermore, visualization acts as a form of mental rehearsal. When athletes, performers, or professionals practice visualization, they are essentially rehearsing their actions in their minds, fine-tuning their responses, and preparing their subconscious for the real-world application of their skills. The brain doesn't differentiate between real and imagined performance, so each mental repetition strengthens the skill, ensuring that when the moment arrives, the body is ready to execute. Visualization, therefore, serves as a tool not only to prepare for success, but also to create a deep sense of belief in one's ability to succeed. What makes visualization even more powerful is its ability to bypass the critical and often limiting judgments of the conscious mind. When we focus on an outcome through visualization, we allow the subconscious mind to create an image of success that is uninhibited by fear, doubt, or past failures. As the subconscious doesn't understand the concept of impossible, it can begin to cultivate belief systems that align with what you desire. Over time, these visualizations rewrite the neural patterns that may be entrenched in limiting beliefs, helping you to transcend the doubts that have previously held you back. The more real and emotionally charged the visualizations, the stronger their impact. Emotion is the fuel that propels the subconscious mind, and when you vividly feel the emotions associated with your success, you're laying the foundation for manifesting that success in the physical world. Creating vivid internal movies. One of the key aspects of effective visualization is the ability to create a vivid, emotionally compelling internal movie. Your mind works in images, and the more detailed and sensory-rich your mental movie is, the more powerful the impact on your subconscious. Visualization is not just about imagining yourself achieving a goal, but about immersing yourself in the experience as if it were happening right now. The more you can engage your senses, sight, sound, touch, smell, and even taste, the more real and convincing your visualization becomes for your brain. This deep sensory immersion communicates to the subconscious that this goal is not just a far-off fantasy, but a tangible, achievable reality. To create a vivid internal movie, begin by imagining every aspect of your desired outcome in rich detail. If your goal is to land your dream job, imagine not just the moment you're offered the position, but the feelings, sounds, and smells that come with it. Picture the office where you'll work, the colors, the layout, the ambiance, and envision yourself walking through the door with confidence and pride. Hear the conversations, the laughter, the recognition of your accomplishments. Feel the texture of the desk, the weight of the paper, the satisfaction of knowing you've succeeded. As you immerse yourself in these sensory details, your mind begins to solidify this mental image as reality, and the subconscious starts to believe that what you're imagining is inevitable. This process of creating vivid mental movies is more than just an exercise in daydreaming. It's a powerful form of mental training. The more often you mentally rehearse your success in this way, the more your subconscious mind will begin to rewire itself to make that success a reality. Visualization with emotional engagement strengthens the neural pathways connected to the desired outcome, helping you not only to align your thoughts with your goals, but also to inspire action. As your subconscious mind believes in the possibility of your success, you'll find that your confidence grows, your doubts diminish, and your actions begin to reflect the success you visualized. Moreover, creating these internal movies has a profound effect on how you approach challenges. When faced with obstacles, your brain will draw upon the mental rehearsal you've conducted and will guide you through them with greater ease. You've already mentally seen yourself overcome adversity and achieve your goals, so when real-world challenges arise, you will feel more equipped to handle them. Visualization serves as a mental training ground, preparing your mind to tackle challenges with resilience and belief in your capabilities. Future self-projection. One of the most powerful applications of visualization is the practice of future self-projection. This technique involves visualizing not just the goals you wish to achieve, but the person you want to become, the version of yourself who has already reached those goals. By projecting yourself into the future, you're able to cultivate a sense of identity that aligns with the success you desire. Future self-projection allows you to step into the mindset, emotions, and actions of your ideal self, helping to rewire your subconscious mind to reflect the person you aspire to be. The process of future self-projection is simple but deeply impactful. Begin by imagining yourself in the future, having achieved your goals and living the life you desire. Visualize the version of yourself who has already mastered the habits, attitudes, and behaviors that align with success. What does this version of yourself look like? How do they carry themselves? What beliefs do they hold about their abilities? How do they interact with the world? Feel the emotions of living that life and embody the confidence, clarity, and joy that comes with it. By consistently visualizing your future self, you create a powerful sense of connection to the person you are becoming. Your subconscious mind begins to align with this future self, helping to bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Over time, this future self becomes a beacon, guiding your decisions, actions, and mindset in the present. When you are aligned with the person you envision, you begin to make choices that reflect the identity and lifestyle of your future self. The more you practice this future self-projection, the more you will find yourself naturally embodying the qualities, habits, and behaviors that lead to success. The beauty of future self-projection is that it is not about forcing yourself to change, but about connecting with the version of yourself who has already accomplished the goals you desire. By embodying this future self in your mind's eye, you make success feel inevitable. You are no longer chasing a distant dream. Instead, you are living as the person who has already achieved that dream. This shift in perspective is incredibly powerful, as it allows you to approach life with a sense of certainty and purpose. Using visualization to reprogram fear. Fear is one of the greatest barriers to success, and it is deeply embedded in the subconscious mind. Our minds are hardwired to seek safety and avoid danger, but often this instinctive fear response can be based on limiting beliefs or past experiences rather than actual threat. Visualization offers a unique tool for reprogramming fear by helping to change the way we perceive and respond to challenges. By visualizing success and focusing on positive outcomes, we can slowly diminish the power of fear and build confidence in our abilities. To use visualization to reprogram fear, begin by identifying the specific fears or anxieties that are holding you back. These could be fears of failure, rejection, or inadequacy. Once you've pinpointed the fear, visualize yourself facing the situation that triggers the fear, but this time, imagine yourself succeeding. See yourself handling the situation with grace, confidence, and skill. Engage all your senses in this visualization and immerse yourself in the feelings of success. By repeatedly visualizing yourself overcoming fear, you gradually rewire your subconscious to associate the experience with positive emotions rather than anxiety. Visualization also allows you to rehearse your responses to fear. Instead of feeling paralyzed or overwhelmed in the face of fear, mental rehearsal helps you create a new empowered response. You begin to train your mind to associate challenges with confidence and resourcefulness, rather than fear and avoidance. The more you visualize yourself successfully navigating difficult situations, the more your subconscious mind will begin to reinforce these positive mental associations. Over time, the grip of fear loosens, and you become more capable of facing challenges head-on, knowing that you have already mentally rehearsed your success. Visualization is a potent tool for reprogramming the subconscious mind, and when used consistently and effectively, it has the power to transform fear into empowerment. By seeing yourself succeed, feeling the emotions of success, and embodying the future version of yourself, you can begin to break free from limiting beliefs and fears that have held you back. With practice, visualization not only helps you manifest your goals, but also empowers you to face life's challenges with unwavering confidence and resilience. Chapter 9. Clearing subconscious blockages, identifying internal resistance. The first step in clearing subconscious blockages is to identify the internal resistance that stands in the way of growth and transformation. Internal resistance is the unseen force within us that acts as a barrier to change. It may not always be easy to recognize because it operates under the surface of conscious awareness, often disguised as fear, procrastination, self-doubt, or limiting beliefs. Internal resistance manifests in subtle ways. For example, you might find yourself repeatedly avoiding tasks that align with your goals or feeling inexplicably drained or unmotivated despite your desire to succeed. It can show up as an internal narrative telling you that you're not good enough, or that success is beyond your reach, despite all outward evidence to the contrary. The cause of this resistance often lies in the subconscious mind, where deeply ingrained beliefs, past traumas, and conditioning prevent you from taking the necessary steps to achieve your dreams. These subconscious beliefs may have been formed in childhood, during formative experiences that shaped how you see yourself and the world. For example, if you were raised in an environment where failure was met with harsh criticism or punishment, you might have internalized the belief that failure is unacceptable, even if it is a natural part of growth. Such beliefs may prevent you from taking risks or stepping outside of your comfort zone, even when you are intellectually aware of the necessity of doing so to achieve your goals. To clear these blockages, it's crucial to become aware of them in the first place. A good starting point is to pay attention to the patterns in your life that seem to repeat themselves. Do you often find yourself sabotaging your own success? Do you procrastinate when it comes to tasks that could move you forward? Are you filled with self-doubt whenever you think about achieving a particular goal? These are signs that there may be subconscious resistance at play. By acknowledging this resistance, you can begin the process of disempowering it and replacing it with more supportive, empowering beliefs that align with your true potential. This is the first step in the journey of releasing the subconscious blockages that are holding you back. Releasing fear, guilt, and shame. Fear, guilt, and shame are some of the most common and deeply rooted emotional blockages in the subconscious mind. These emotions often carry a heavy weight, and their effects can be profound, influencing not only our emotional well-being, but also our physical health and behavior. They can act as powerful forces that keep us stuck in patterns of limitation, preventing us from fully embracing our potential and stepping into the life we desire. Fear can manifest as a paralyzing anxiety about the future, keeping us from taking the steps necessary to pursue our goals. Guilt, often rooted in past mistakes or perceived wrongdoings, can create a sense of unworthiness, making it difficult to believe we deserve happiness or success. Shame, which involves a deep sense of self-rejection, can convince us that we are fundamentally flawed or unworthy of love and acceptance. In order to clear these blockages, it is necessary to release the grip these emotions have on us. This involves a conscious effort to heal and transform the beliefs that underlie them. One powerful method for releasing fear, guilt, and shame is through the practice of emotional release techniques, such as emotional freedom techniques, EFT, which use tapping on acupressure points to release negative emotions stored in the body. EFT is based on the principle that negative emotions are stored in the energy meridians of the body, and by tapping on these points while focusing on the emotion, we can release the emotional charge and clear the blockages. Another effective technique for releasing fear, guilt, and shame is through forgiveness. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as something we do for others, but in reality, it is a powerful tool for freeing ourselves from the chains of past emotional wounds. Forgiveness allows us to release the heavy emotional burden we carry and make peace with the past. This is particularly important when it comes to releasing guilt and shame, as these emotions often stem from unresolved issues or unresolved self-blame. By forgiving ourselves and others, we free ourselves from the emotional weight that has been holding us back. Additionally, it's important to recognize that fear, guilt, and shame are often based on false beliefs and perceptions about who we are. These emotions may arise from outdated or inaccurate stories we have told ourselves about our past, our worth, and our potential. By changing the story we tell ourselves and replacing these negative beliefs with more empowering ones, we can transform these emotions. The process of releasing fear, guilt, and shame is not always easy, but it is an essential step in clearing subconscious blockages and moving toward a life of freedom, joy, and success, shadow work, and radical self-honesty. One of the most profound and transformative processes in clearing subconscious blockages is engaging in shadow work. The shadow refers to the parts of ourselves that we suppress, reject, or deny because they are deemed unacceptable or unworthy. These are the aspects of our personality and behavior that we may be ashamed of or afraid to acknowledge, such as anger, jealousy, greed, or vulnerability. The shadow consists of all the parts of ourselves that we have been conditioned to believe are bad or wrong, but in truth, they are simply aspects of our whole being that have been pushed into the unconscious mind. These traits often remain hidden because they carry emotional charge, or because we have learned, either through personal experience or societal conditioning, that they are undesirable. Shadow work is the process of bringing these hidden aspects of the self into consciousness, accepting them without judgment, and integrating them into a more authentic and whole version of ourselves. This requires radical self-honesty, the willingness to look at oneself without the filters of denial, shame, or self-deception. It involves a deep examination of the ways in which we may have been sabotaging our own growth through repressed emotions, unresolved traumas, or unacknowledged desires. Shadow work is not about fixing or changing who we are. Rather, it's about embracing our true selves in all their complexity, understanding that our shadow aspects are simply parts of our personality that need to be acknowledged and accepted. Engaging in shadow work can be challenging, as it requires confronting the parts of ourselves that we have long avoided. It may bring up painful memories, unresolved wounds, or uncomfortable truths about who we are and how we have been operating in the world. However, this process is incredibly liberating because it allows us to release the subconscious blockages that keep us stuck in patterns of self-sabotage, fear, and limitation. When we integrate the shadow, we stop running from ourselves and start living with greater authenticity, power, and compassion. Shadow work is one of the most profound ways to heal subconscious wounds and clear blockages that have been preventing us from living a life of full expression. Energy clearing techniques, EFT, breathwork. Energy clearing techniques, such as emotional freedom techniques, EFT, and breathwork, are incredibly effective tools for clearing subconscious blockages. These techniques focus on releasing trapped emotions, stress, and negative energy that have become stored in the body and mind. When we experience trauma or emotional distress, the energy associated with those experiences doesn't always dissipate naturally. Instead, it can become trapped in the body, creating physical, emotional, and mental blockages that hinder our ability to move forward. EFT is an energy psychology technique that combines tapping on acupressure points with focused intention to release emotional blockages. It is based on the idea that negative emotions and unresolved issues are stored in the body's energy meridians, and by tapping on specific points while focusing on these issues, we can clear the blocked energy. EFT has been shown to be highly effective in reducing stress, anxiety, and emotional pain, and it can be used to release deeply held fears, limiting beliefs, and traumas stored in the subconscious mind. Breathwork is another powerful technique for clearing emotional blockages. It involves using specific breathing patterns to activate the body's natural ability to release stored emotions and tensions. Breathwork allows individuals to access deeper layers of the subconscious mind, where emotional blockages are often held, and it helps to restore balance and harmony within the body and mind. By consciously engaging in deep, rhythmic breathing, individuals can clear negative emotions, reduce stress, and release pent-up emotional energy. Both EFT and breathwork offer immediate relief from emotional blockages and are valuable tools in the process of clearing subconscious resistance. By regularly practicing these techniques, you can create a state of emotional and energetic balance that allows you to move through life with greater ease and flow. Clearing subconscious blockages is an ongoing process, and energy clearing techniques provide powerful support in facilitating this transformation. By incorporating these practices into your daily routine, you can create lasting change and unlock your full potential. Chapter 10. Manifestation through mental alignment. Manifestation is a powerful and universal process. It begins in the mind, but the key to successful manifestation lies in aligning our mental, emotional, and physical states. When these three aspects of our being are in harmony, we create the perfect conditions for our desires to materialize. In this chapter, we'll explore how the process of manifestation works, the critical role of the subconscious mind in this process, and how to synchronize your thoughts, feelings, and actions to manifest your dreams effectively. By learning how to align these different elements, you tap into the full potential of your subconscious and become an active participant in creating the life you've always envisioned. It's important to realize that manifestation is not a mere passive wish. It's an active process that involves intention, belief, and consistent action. Aligning thought, feeling, and action. To truly manifest your desires, it is crucial to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Many people unknowingly undermine their manifestation efforts because there is a disconnect between what they think, how they feel, and the actions they take. For example, a person might consciously think about wanting a new job or financial success, but if they feel anxiety or doubt about their ability to achieve it, or if their actions contradict their desires, manifestation becomes much harder. The key here is creating an inner alignment between these three aspects of yourself. If you believe that you deserve success, feel confident about your abilities, and take consistent, aligned actions toward your goal, you are more likely to experience successful manifestation. The subconscious mind plays a key role in this alignment. It is responsible for the beliefs and emotions that influence your thoughts and actions. Often, your subconscious may hold conflicting beliefs about what you desire. For example, you might consciously desire financial abundance, but your subconscious might harbor limiting beliefs about money, such as the idea that money is hard to come by or that you don't deserve financial success. These subconscious beliefs create an energetic mismatch between your conscious desires and your subconscious programming, resulting in resistance that blocks the manifestation process. To effectively align your thoughts, feelings, and actions, it is necessary to reprogram the subconscious mind to support your goals. This can be done through affirmations, visualization, and other subconscious reprogramming techniques that help to shift limiting beliefs and align the mind with your desires. Another powerful aspect of alignment is ensuring that your actions reflect your intentions. The subconscious mind, while powerful, requires consistent action to reinforce your desires. Manifestation is not just about positive thinking. It's about taking inspired action toward your goals. When your actions are in line with your thoughts and emotions, you send a clear and coherent message to the universe, which then responds in kind. For example, if you want to manifest a new career, it's not enough to simply visualize it or wish for it. You need to take practical steps, such as updating your resume, networking with others, or acquiring new skills, to align your actions with the mental and emotional work you are doing. This alignment creates a strong energetic resonance that attracts opportunities, people, and circumstances that support your manifestation. The subconscious and the law of attraction. The law of attraction is a universal principle that states that like attracts like. In simple terms, this means that your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs will attract experiences and circumstances that match the energy you are emitting. The subconscious mind plays a central role in the law of attraction because it governs your beliefs, emotions, and habitual thought patterns. When you consciously focus on positive, abundant thoughts, your subconscious mind aligns with this energy, which then attracts similar vibrations from the universe. However, the law of attraction is not just about thinking positively or wishing for what you want. It is about truly embodying the energy of your desires. Your subconscious mind must be in alignment with your conscious desires for the law of attraction to work effectively. If you desire financial abundance, but subconsciously believe that money is scarce or that you are unworthy of wealth, your subconscious programming will block the manifestation of your desires. In contrast, when your subconscious mind is reprogrammed to believe in abundance and your deservingness, it will align with the energy of wealth and attract opportunities for financial success. To make the law of attraction work for you, it is essential to examine your subconscious beliefs and clear any limiting patterns that may be preventing you from manifesting your desires. This requires conscious self-awareness and the willingness to challenge any beliefs or assumptions that do not serve your highest good. By reprogramming your subconscious mind through techniques such as affirmations, visualization, and meditation, you can shift your energetic frequency to match the vibration of your desires. This alignment creates a magnetic field that attracts the people, opportunities, and circumstances that will help you manifest your dreams. One effective way to strengthen your connection with the law of attraction is through the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful emotional state that signals to the universe that you are in alignment with abundance. When you express gratitude for what you have in the present moment, you amplify your energetic frequency and attract more of what you are grateful for. By focusing on the positive aspects of your life, even in times of challenge, you send a message to the universe that you are open to receiving more of the good things that life has to offer. Setting intentions with clarity. Setting clear and focused intentions is another vital step in the manifestation process. Your intentions are the driving force behind your desires, and when they are clear and specific, they help to direct your subconscious mind toward your goals. The subconscious mind responds best to clear, concise instructions. When you set an intention, you are providing the subconscious with a roadmap for how you want your life to unfold. However, many people struggle with setting clear intentions because they lack focus or are unsure of what they truly want. Without clear intentions, the subconscious mind becomes confused, which can lead to mixed results in the manifestation process. The key to setting powerful intentions is clarity. When you know exactly what you want and why you want it, you create a sense of purpose and direction in your life. This clarity allows you to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your intention, making it easier to manifest your desires. A well-defined intention also helps you stay focused and motivated, even in the face of challenges. For example, if you are manifesting a new career, instead of vaguely stating, "I want a new job," a clearer intention might be, "I am manifesting a fulfilling job in the creative field, where I can use my talents to help others while earning a sustainable income." This intention is specific, measurable, and aligned with your values and desires, making it more powerful and effective. Once you have set your intention, it is important to reinforce it regularly through visualization, affirmations, and positive actions. This helps to keep your subconscious mind focused on your goal, creating an energetic alignment that attracts the people and circumstances needed to bring your desires into reality. Consistency is key when it comes to manifestation, and the more you reinforce your intentions, the more likely they are to manifest. Trust that the universe will bring your desires to fruition, and stay open to receiving the guidance and opportunities that will help you manifest your dreams. Avoiding wishful thinking traps. While it is essential to remain positive and hopeful when manifesting your desires, it is equally important to avoid falling into the trap of wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is when you hold an unrealistic or vague belief that things will simply happen without taking responsibility for your part in the process. It's easy to fall into the mindset that manifestation is a magical process, but it requires effort, commitment, and active participation. Wishful thinking creates an energy of expectation without action, which can lead to frustration and disappointment. To avoid wishful thinking, it is important to take grounded, inspired action toward your goals. Manifestation is not just about imagining your desires. It is about doing the work required to bring those desires into physical reality. This means being proactive, making decisions, and taking consistent steps toward your intentions. The more effort you put into aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desires, the more quickly you will see results. Remember, manifestation is not a passive process. It requires a balanced combination of intention, belief, and action. Trust the process, but also take responsibility for creating the conditions that will allow your desires to manifest. By aligning your mental, emotional, and physical states with your desires, you open the doors to powerful manifestation. The key is to maintain consistency, focus, and self-awareness as you move through the process. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions are in harmony with your intentions, you become a powerful creator, capable of manifesting the life you truly want. Chapter 11. Rewriting your inner story. Your life is shaped by the story you tell yourself about who you are, what you can achieve, and what you deserve. This internal narrative is the framework through which you perceive the world, and it has a profound impact on the choices you make, the relationships you form, and the outcomes you experience. The beauty of the subconscious mind is that it's malleable, and you have the power to rewrite your inner story, just as an author rewrites the script of a character's life. This chapter will explore how to recognize and understand your current narrative, how to begin rewriting it to reflect the person you want to become, and how to use language and identity shifts to unlock your full potential. When you begin to change the story you tell yourself, everything in your life begins to shift. By rewriting your inner story, you take control of your destiny and create a new reality that aligns with your deepest desires. Understanding your current identity. The first step in rewriting your inner story is to understand the current narrative that is shaping your life. Your identity, the story you have constructed about who you are, where you come from, and what you are capable of, is largely a product of your past experiences, beliefs, and conditioning. It is often influenced by your upbringing, the messages you received from authority figures, society's expectations, and even the limitations imposed by the environment you grew up in. Your identity is the filter through which you interpret your world and make decisions, and it's shaped by both conscious and subconscious beliefs. It's important to realize that this identity is not set in stone. It is a fluid, evolving concept that can be changed over time with the right tools and mindset. In many cases, people find themselves unconsciously living out a version of themselves that no longer serves them. They may feel stuck in old patterns of thinking or behavior, constantly falling into the same traps and believing the same limiting narratives. These patterns are not a reflection of who they truly are, but rather an outdated version of themselves that they've carried along for years. To begin the process of rewriting your inner story, you must first take a step back and honestly assess the identity you are currently living out. Ask yourself questions like, what beliefs do I hold about myself? What stories have I been telling myself about my worth, my abilities, and my potential? Where did these beliefs come from, and are they serving my highest good? By examining these questions, you can begin to uncover the unconscious programming that has been influencing your thoughts and actions. The process of identifying your current identity requires deep self-reflection and introspection. You may need to challenge some long-held beliefs that no longer serve you. For example, you might realize that you have been telling yourself a story of being not good enough or not deserving of success and happiness. These types of beliefs are deeply ingrained in the subconscious and often stem from childhood experiences or societal conditioning. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward freeing yourself from them. It's important to remember that your past does not define your future, and the narrative you've been living can be rewritten with conscious intention. Story editing: past, present, and future. Once you have gained a clear understanding of your current identity, the next step is to begin editing the story of your life. This process involves revisiting the past, reinterpreting your present reality, and envisioning the future you want to create. The key to rewriting your inner story is to consciously choose a new narrative that aligns with your desires, values, and goals. To do this effectively, you must engage in a process of story editing, which allows you to reframe past experiences, shift your perspective on the present, and create a compelling vision of the future. Let's begin with the past. Many people carry with them a version of their past that is filled with regret, guilt, or shame. These feelings often form the basis of limiting beliefs and negative self-talk. To rewrite your story, you must first let go of these limiting beliefs about the past and embrace a new narrative. This doesn't mean ignoring past pain or pretending that difficult experiences never happened. Rather, it means shifting your perspective so that you can see your past through a lens of growth and empowerment. For example, instead of viewing a past failure as a confirmation of your inadequacy, you can reinterpret it as a valuable lesson that taught you resilience, patience, and determination. By reframing your past experiences in a more positive and empowering light, you begin to shift your internal narrative and free yourself from the chains of old beliefs. Next, it's essential to reframe your present reality. Your present moment is a reflection of your past thoughts, beliefs, and actions. However, just because your present circumstances may not be ideal does not mean that they are permanent. To create a new reality, you must change the way you perceive your current situation. Begin by recognizing the power of your thoughts and how they influence your experiences. Instead of focusing on what is lacking or what isn't working, shift your focus to what is working, what you're grateful for, and the progress you've made so far. By shifting your attention to the positive aspects of your life, you begin to attract more positive experiences. This shift in perception is a crucial part of rewriting your inner story because it enables you to see the potential and possibility in every moment, rather than being weighed down by past limitations. Finally, you must envision the future you want to create. This step is about aligning your subconscious mind with the desires you want to manifest. Visualize the person you want to become and the life you want to live. Use the power of your imagination to create a vivid mental picture of your future and see yourself living in the fullness of your potential. This visualization process helps to strengthen your new identity and send a clear message to your subconscious mind about the person you are becoming. The more you engage in this process of story editing, the more your subconscious mind will begin to align with your new narrative, and your external reality will begin to shift in response. Using language to reshape perception language is one of the most powerful tools for rewriting your inner story. The words you use, both consciously and unconsciously, shape your beliefs and influence your emotional state. When you speak to yourself using language that reinforces negative beliefs or self-doubt, you are perpetuating the old story that no longer serves you. On the other hand, when you use language that is empowering and affirming, you can begin to reshape your perception of yourself and your reality. The way you talk to yourself is crucial in rewriting your inner narrative. If you consistently tell yourself that you are capable, worthy, and deserving of success, your subconscious mind will begin to internalize these messages and reinforce them as your truth. One effective technique for reshaping your inner story through language is the use of affirmations. Affirmations are positive, present-tense statements that help to reprogram the subconscious mind. For example, instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," you can replace that thought with, "I am worthy of all the success and happiness that life has to offer." By repeating these affirmations daily, you begin to rewrite the story you tell yourself about your worth and abilities. Affirmations are a powerful way to shift your self-perception and create a new identity based on empowerment and possibility. Another way to use language to reshape your inner story is through self-talk. The way you speak to yourself on a daily basis has a profound impact on your confidence, self-esteem, and overall mindset. If you catch yourself engaging in negative self-talk, gently replace those thoughts with more positive and supportive statements. For example, instead of saying, "I can't do this," try saying, "I am capable of overcoming any challenge that comes my way." Over time, this shift in language will help to reprogram your subconscious mind and align your thoughts with your new story. Identity shifts for long-term change. Rewriting your inner story is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing process of transformation. In order to create lasting change, you must undergo a fundamental shift in identity. This means fully embracing the person you are becoming and stepping into the highest version of yourself. Identity shifts require you to let go of the old, outdated narrative and adopt a new way of being. This shift is often accompanied by feelings of resistance or discomfort, as the subconscious mind resists change. However, it is precisely through this discomfort that transformation occurs. The key to successfully making an identity shift is to remain committed to your vision and trust the process of growth. One of the most powerful ways to facilitate an identity shift is by taking consistent, aligned action toward your new story. As you begin to embody the qualities of the person you are becoming, you reinforce your new identity in both your subconscious and conscious mind. This shift in identity is often the catalyst for lasting change in all areas of your life. By choosing to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the person you want to become, you begin to create a new reality that reflects your highest potential. Rewriting your inner story is one of the most transformative practices you can engage in. It gives you the power to break free from old patterns, limiting beliefs, and self-imposed limitations. By consciously rewriting your narrative, you can step into the person you were always meant to be, creating a life of abundance, fulfillment, and purpose. Remember, the story you tell yourself is not fixed. It is constantly evolving. You have the power to edit, rewrite, and create a new narrative that serves your highest good. Chapter 12: Subconscious and Relationships. Our relationships, whether personal, professional, or familial, are profoundly influenced by the stories we carry in our subconscious minds. From the way we interact with others to the expectations we place on them and ourselves, the subconscious plays a leading role in shaping the dynamics of our connections. Unbeknownst to us, we often bring unhealed wounds, limiting beliefs, and emotional patterns from the past into our relationships. This can manifest in many ways: insecurity, fear of abandonment, difficulty with trust, or repeated patterns of unhealthy behavior. However, by bringing awareness to the subconscious patterns that govern our relational dynamics, we can take conscious steps to heal old wounds, shift our beliefs, and cultivate healthier, more fulfilling relationships. This chapter will explore how the subconscious shapes our connections with others, how childhood experiences and attachment styles impact our relationships, and how we can use this awareness to attract and nurture aligned, meaningful connections. How subconscious beliefs shape connection. At the heart of all relationships is a complex interplay of beliefs, emotions, and expectations. These aspects are largely shaped by the subconscious mind, which operates as the governing force behind our behaviors, choices, and emotional responses. The beliefs we hold about love, trust, and intimacy are often formed in early childhood, based on our interactions with primary caregivers and significant others. These early experiences lay the foundation for how we view ourselves and others in relationships, and they influence how we navigate interpersonal dynamics throughout our lives. For instance, if you were raised in an environment where love was conditional, where affection was only given when you behaved in a certain way or met specific expectations, you may grow up with a subconscious belief that you must earn love and approval. This belief can manifest in your adult relationships as an unconscious fear of rejection or a need to constantly prove your worthiness. You may find yourself seeking external validation from others, feeling unworthy of love, or engaging in people-pleasing behavior to avoid conflict. These subconscious beliefs, formed in childhood, continue to shape your interactions, even if you're not consciously aware of them. On the other hand, individuals who were raised in loving, supportive environments may develop a different set of subconscious beliefs, such as a sense of security, trust, and openness in relationships. This can lead to healthier, more balanced connections, where love and affection are freely given and received without the need for validation or approval. However, even those who had relatively positive childhood experiences can carry limiting beliefs or unresolved emotional wounds that affect their relationships. The key to transforming your relationships lies in identifying and transforming these subconscious beliefs so you can enter relationships with a clean slate and a healthier mindset. Attachment styles and emotional patterning. The concept of attachment theory provides valuable insight into how our early experiences shape our relational patterns. Attachment theory, developed by psychologist John Bowlby, posits that the bonds we form with our caregivers in infancy and early childhood profoundly influence how we approach relationships throughout our lives. There are 4 primary attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized, each of which reflects a different way of relating to others based on early attachment experiences. These attachment styles are deeply ingrained in the subconscious and play a significant role in how we connect with others, manage emotional intimacy, and cope with relationship stress. Individuals with a secure attachment style typically feel comfortable with emotional intimacy and are able to form healthy, balanced relationships. They are generally able to trust others, communicate openly, and navigate conflict in a constructive way. Those with a secure attachment style may have had caregivers who were consistently responsive to their needs, providing a safe and nurturing environment for emotional growth. As a result, they feel secure in themselves and in their relationships, and they are able to establish strong, lasting connections with others. On the other hand, individuals with an anxious attachment style often struggle with feelings of insecurity and fear of abandonment. They may be overly dependent on their partners for validation and approval, and they may experience intense emotional highs and lows in their relationships. This attachment style is often the result of inconsistent caregiving during childhood, where affection and attention were given unpredictably. As a result, those with an anxious attachment style may find themselves constantly seeking reassurance, feeling anxious when their partner is not available, or becoming overly clingy in relationships. Those with an avoidant attachment style, in contrast, tend to have difficulty with emotional intimacy and may distance themselves from others when relationships become too close. They often value independence and self-sufficiency and may struggle to express their emotions or communicate their needs. This attachment style often develops in response to caregivers who were emotionally distant, neglectful, or unresponsive. As a result, individuals with an avoidant attachment style may subconsciously believe that relying on others for emotional support is unsafe or unreliable. Finally, individuals with a disorganized attachment style exhibit a mix of anxious and avoidant behaviors. They may crave emotional intimacy, but simultaneously fear it, leading to confusing and unpredictable relational patterns. This attachment style is often linked to childhood trauma or inconsistent caregiving, where the child experienced both love and fear from their caregivers. As a result, Those with a disorganized attachment style may struggle with trust, emotional regulation, and maintaining stable relationships. Understanding your attachment style is an important step in gaining awareness of the subconscious patterns that influence your relationships. Once you identify your attachment style, you can begin to work on healing old wounds, shifting limiting beliefs, and developing healthier, more secure ways of connecting with others. This process requires self-compassion, patience, and a commitment to personal growth. Healing relationship wounds. Internally. One of the most powerful ways to transform your relationships is to heal the wounds that you may have unconsciously carried with you from the past. These emotional wounds, often stemming from childhood trauma, abandonment, or neglect, can leave lasting scars on your subconscious mind. These unresolved emotions influence your behaviors and responses in relationships, often causing you to react from a place of fear, defensiveness, or insecurity. The good news is that these wounds can be healed with conscious effort, self-awareness, and a willingness to address the deep-seated emotional patterns that drive your behaviors. Healing begins with awareness. The first step in healing relationship wounds is to acknowledge the pain and emotional scars that may be influencing your current relationships. This can be a difficult and vulnerable process, as it requires you to confront old wounds and recognize how they may still be impacting your present-day interactions. Journaling, therapy, and meditation can be powerful tools for uncovering and processing these hidden emotions. By bringing awareness to the subconscious wounds that are driving your relational patterns, you can begin to take the necessary steps to heal them. Self-compassion is essential during this healing process. It's important to be kind and patient with yourself as you work through emotional pain and release old patterns. This may involve forgiving yourself for past mistakes, letting go of resentment, and choosing to embrace a new story of healing and growth. As you begin to heal from past relationship wounds, you will find that your capacity for love, trust, and emotional intimacy expands. You will also become more aware of the patterns you may have unconsciously repeated in past relationships, allowing you to break free from those cycles and cultivate healthier, more fulfilling connections. Attracting aligned people through inner work. The relationships we attract into our lives are often a reflection of the beliefs and energy we project into the world. If you carry unresolved emotional wounds or limiting beliefs about love, trust, or your own worthiness, you may unconsciously attract partners or friends who reflect these same patterns. However, by doing the inner work to heal your subconscious wounds, shift your beliefs, and raise your self-awareness, you can begin to attract aligned, loving, and supportive people into your life. One of the most powerful ways to attract aligned relationships is by focusing on self-love and self-worth. When you cultivate a deep sense of self-acceptance and love, you send a powerful message to the universe that you are deserving of healthy, fulfilling relationships. By nurturing your own emotional well-being and developing a strong sense of self, you become magnetic to people who resonate with your energy and share your values. As you heal your subconscious wounds and shift your beliefs about love, you will naturally begin to attract relationships that reflect your own inner growth. Visualization and intention setting are also powerful tools for attracting aligned relationships. By clearly defining the qualities you desire in a partner or friend and visualizing yourself already in a fulfilling relationship, you send a clear message to your subconscious mind about the kind of connection you want to manifest. This alignment of thought, emotion, and intention helps to create a powerful energetic field that draws in people who are in harmony with your desires and values. Ultimately, the relationships you attract into your life are a reflection of your inner world. By doing the inner work to heal your subconscious beliefs, shift your emotional patterns, and align your energy with love and abundance, you can attract the relationships that truly support your highest good. The process of transforming your relationships begins with you, and as you grow and evolve, the connections you form will mirror that inner transformation. Through conscious awareness healing, and alignment, you can create a life filled with love, connection, and meaningful relationships. Chapter 13. The Science Behind the Mysticism. Many people, when they first encounter the idea of working with the subconscious mind, might dismiss it as something mystical or unfounded. They might see it as a collection of abstract ideas or spiritual concepts with no real grounding in scientific fact. However, the truth is that modern science has made tremendous strides in understanding the mechanisms that govern the subconscious mind. As we explore the scientific principles behind the workings of the subconscious, we begin to understand that what was once considered esoteric is, in fact, rooted in the natural workings of the brain and the body. The mind is not separate from the physical body. It is an integrated system that governs behavior, emotions, and thoughts. From neuroplasticity to the reticular activating system, EES, and epigenetics, the science behind the subconscious mind reveals powerful truths that can help us better understand how to reshape our reality, heal old wounds, and manifest the life we desire. In this chapter, we will delve into the scientific research that supports the idea of subconscious reprogramming and explore how the mind, body, and environment work together to create our experiences. Neuroplasticity and brain rewiring. One of the most fascinating scientific discoveries in recent decades is the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. For years, it was believed that the brain's structure and function were fixed after a certain age, and that once neural pathways were established, they could not be changed. This belief led to the idea that our behaviors and thought patterns were locked in place for good. However, the discovery of neuroplasticity has revolutionized our understanding of the brain's capacity for change. Now we know that our brain is incredibly adaptable, and it is capable of rewiring itself throughout our lives in response to learning, experiences, and even our conscious intentions. When we repeatedly engage in certain thoughts, behaviors, or experiences, we strengthen the neural pathways associated with those patterns. For example, if you practice a skill or repeat a particular thought for a period of time, your brain forms new neural connections that make those thoughts or actions easier to perform. This is why practicing positive affirmations or visualization techniques can lead to lasting change. They help to rewire the subconscious mind by reinforcing new positive neural pathways. The more you engage with a thought or belief, the more it becomes ingrained in your subconscious, influencing your behavior and emotional responses. The key to neuroplasticity is repetition and consistency. By consciously choosing new thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors, you can rewire your brain and create new empowering patterns that align with your desires. Neuroplasticity is not just limited to thought patterns. It also plays a role in emotional regulation and memory. For instance, traumatic experiences that leave emotional scars can also be rewired. Through therapeutic techniques such as EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, or cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, individuals can effectively reprogram their emotional responses to past events, reducing the impact of trauma on their present lives. This ability to heal emotional wounds through rewiring the brain's neural pathways shows how deeply connected the subconscious mind is to both mental and emotional states. As we learn more about neuroplasticity, it becomes clear that the brain is far more flexible and capable of change than we once believed, making the potential for subconscious transformation a reality. The reticular activating system, RAS. Another crucial element in understanding how the subconscious mind shapes our reality is the reticular activating system, RAS. The RAS is a network of neurons located in the brainstem that acts as a filter for sensory information. Its primary function is to regulate arousal and attention by determining which stimuli are important enough to bring to our conscious awareness. Essentially, the RAS helps us focus on what matters most to us by filtering out unnecessary information and highlighting things that align with our current goals, beliefs, and emotional states. This filtering process is largely subconscious, meaning that we may not even be aware of the RAS's influence on our daily experiences. The RAS plays a crucial role in manifestation, as it helps us to focus on and notice things that align with our subconscious beliefs. For example, if you constantly affirm to yourself that you are worthy of success, your RAS will begin to filter for evidence of opportunities, people, and situations that support this belief. Conversely, if you hold the belief that you are incapable of achieving your goals, your RAS will filter out evidence to the contrary and highlight situations that reinforce your limiting belief. This process is why affirmations, visualization, and other techniques for reprogramming the subconscious mind are so effective. They help to shift the subconscious beliefs that influence the RAS, allowing us to perceive and act on opportunities that align with our new, empowering mindset. The RAS is also responsible for the phenomenon known as the reticular filter, where you might notice things you've never seen before simply because you've become focused on them. A classic example of this is when you decide to buy a particular car and suddenly you begin to see that car everywhere you go. The car was always there, but your RAS was filtering it out of your awareness until you set your focus on it. In the same way, when you focus on positive thoughts and beliefs, your RAS starts to highlight opportunities that align with those thoughts, leading to a shift in how you experience the world around you. This is why consciously directing your thoughts and beliefs can have such a profound impact on your life. By training your RAS to notice what aligns with your desires, you essentially start to attract what you want into your experience. Epigenetics and the power of belief. Epigenetics is a field of science that studies how environmental factors and lifestyle choices influence gene expression. While our genetic makeup provides a blueprint for who we are, it is not a fixed determinant of our health, behavior, or emotional responses. Instead, epigenetics shows that our experiences, beliefs, and emotions can actually alter how our genes are expressed. This concept has profound implications for how we understand the influence of the subconscious mind on our health and well-being. It suggests that our beliefs and thought patterns can affect our genetic expression, potentially leading to physical changes in the body. For example, stress and trauma have been shown to activate certain genes that predispose individuals to health issues such as inflammation, weakened immune function, and even mental health disorders. On the other hand, positive emotions, mindfulness, and practices like meditation have been shown to reduce stress and positively influence gene expression, promoting health and well-being. This connection between the subconscious mind, beliefs, and gene expression further demonstrates the power of the mind in shaping our physical reality. It also highlights the importance of cultivating positive, empowering beliefs and emotional states in order to foster optimal health and well-being. The concept of epigenetics suggests that the subconscious mind is not only responsible for shaping our thoughts and emotions, but also has the power to influence our physical bodies. This means that by healing emotional wounds, shifting limiting beliefs, and practicing positive self-talk, we can not only transform our mental and emotional states, but also improve our physical health. Through the lens of epigenetics, we can see how deeply interconnected the mind and body are, and how the subconscious mind can literally alter the expression of our genes, impacting everything from our emotional responses to our overall health. The quantum link, observation, and intention. One of the most fascinating and often misunderstood aspects of the subconscious mind is the connection between consciousness and quantum mechanics. Quantum physics reveals that the act of observation influences the outcome of a situation. This principle, known as the observer effect, suggests that our thoughts and intentions can have a direct impact on the physical world. In essence, the universe responds to the energy and intention we put into it, creating a direct link between our consciousness and the material world. This idea is revolutionary because it suggests that our reality is not fixed, but is, instead, malleable and responsive to our thoughts and beliefs. In the context of the subconscious mind, this means that the way we perceive the world and our intentions can influence the outcomes we experience. When we focus our attention and energy on something, whether it's a goal, a desire, or a specific outcome, we are actively engaging with the quantum field, sending out vibrations that align with our intentions. The more focused and intentional we are, the more we influence the energetic field around us, bringing our desires into reality. This concept is at the core of manifestation practices, which emphasize the power of intention, belief, and focused energy in creating the life we want. By aligning our subconscious beliefs with our conscious intentions, we can tap into the quantum field and begin to shape our reality. In conclusion, the science behind the subconscious mind provides a compelling and practical framework for understanding how our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions shape our reality. From neuroplasticity and the reticular activating system to epigenetics and quantum mechanics, the scientific principles that underpin the subconscious mind reveal the profound power we have to transform our lives. By working with the subconscious mind, we can rewire our brains, shift our beliefs, and tap into the limitless potential of the quantum field, ultimately creating the life we desire. The mysticism surrounding the subconscious mind is not a mystery at all. It is grounded in the natural laws of the universe, and when we learn to work with these laws, we unlock our true power. Chapter 14. Life in Mastery. Living from the Inside Out. Living a life in mastery begins with the fundamental understanding that the power to change our lives lies within us, shaped and molded by our subconscious minds. It is easy to look at the external world and believe that it is the circumstances around us, the people, the events, the environment that shape our experience. However, the truth is that our inner world, the beliefs, thoughts, and feelings stored deep within the subconscious, is what truly determines our reality. To live from the inside out means to take responsibility for how we feel, think, and act, knowing that each of these elements contributes to the reality we manifest. As we dive into the process of integrating this knowledge into our lives, we discover that true mastery comes not from controlling the external world, but from mastering the internal world, the world of thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that govern our daily experience. Integrating your new subconscious programming. When you first begin the process of reprogramming your subconscious mind, it can feel like a profound transformation. New beliefs, behaviors, and thought patterns begin to take shape, and you start to notice subtle changes in how you experience the world around you. However, for true mastery, it is essential to understand that integration is the key to long-term success. Reprogramming your subconscious is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process of continuous practice and alignment. In order to live from the inside out, the new beliefs, thoughts, and habits you've cultivated must become fully integrated into your daily life. This means you must actively align your conscious thoughts with your subconscious programming, ensuring that the new beliefs you've developed take root and flourish. The process of integration involves embracing your newfound awareness, consistently reinforcing your positive changes, and allowing your subconscious to guide your decisions in harmony with your conscious desires. The key to integration lies in consistency and repetition. It is not enough to simply engage in a few affirmations or visualize your desired reality for a short time. To integrate new beliefs deeply into your subconscious mind, you must practice them daily, allowing the repetition to solidify these changes. This means you must engage in activities that reinforce your new mindset, whether that's through meditation, affirmations, visualization, or taking conscious actions that reflect your new beliefs. For example, if you've reprogrammed your subconscious to believe that you are worthy of success and abundance, you must align your actions with that belief by seeking out opportunities that reflect your worth, setting goals, and taking steps toward achieving them. In doing so, you create a powerful feedback loop where your actions support your new beliefs, and your beliefs reinforce the actions you take, creating a life that is in full alignment with your highest potential. One of the challenges people often face when integrating new subconscious programming is the temptation to fall back into old habits and patterns. The subconscious mind, after all, is deeply influenced by past experiences, and it can be easy to slip into familiar thoughts and behaviors. This is why it is crucial to remain vigilant and intentional in your efforts. The subconscious mind is like a garden. If you do not continue to tend to it, old weeds, negative beliefs and thoughts will begin to grow back. This is why ongoing effort is required to keep your subconscious mind in alignment with your goals. By remaining consistent and aware, you will begin to see the positive changes in your life become more permanent, and your mastery over your inner world will become stronger over time. Staying aligned through challenges. No matter how deeply reprogrammed your subconscious mind may be, challenges will inevitably arise. Life, with its unpredictable nature, will present situations that test your new beliefs and behaviors. The ability to stay aligned with your goals, values, and desires during these times is a crucial aspect of mastering your life from the inside out. Challenges often arise to show us where we still need to grow, where there are weak spots in our belief systems, and where further reprogramming may be necessary. However, it is in these moments of challenge that true mastery is achieved, as it is during the tough times that we can truly test the strength of our subconscious programming and whether it is resilient enough to support us in achieving our highest potential. Staying aligned through challenges requires a combination of inner strength, self-awareness, and trust in the process. One of the most powerful tools in maintaining alignment is the ability to pause and recenter when difficulties arise. Instead of reacting impulsively or allowing old patterns to take over, you can consciously choose how to respond to each situation. This is where mindfulness comes into play. Practicing mindfulness allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, giving you the space to decide whether your reactions align with your new beliefs. If you find that you are slipping into old habits or thought patterns, you can use this moment as an opportunity to remind yourself of your new beliefs and consciously choose a different response. This practice of staying centered and grounded during challenges will allow you to maintain your course, even when external circumstances seem to be testing you. Over time, as you strengthen your ability to stay aligned through difficulties, you will find that challenges no longer feel as daunting or insurmountable. Instead, they become opportunities for growth and further mastery. Furthermore, staying aligned during challenges also requires cultivating a deep sense of trust in yourself and the process. It is easy to become discouraged when things don't go as planned or when setbacks occur. However, true mastery comes from the ability to trust that every experience, every setback, and every challenge is a stepping stone toward your ultimate goal. This requires a shift in perspective, viewing challenges not as failures, but as valuable lessons that help you refine your subconscious programming and grow stronger in your ability to manifest the life you desire. When you adopt this mindset, you no longer see obstacles as threats, but as necessary parts of your journey toward greater mastery and success. Continual growth as a way of life. Living a life in mastery is not about reaching a destination. It is about making continual growth a way of life. When we embrace the idea of living from the inside out, we realize that there is no finish line to cross, no ultimate state of perfection to attain. Instead, the journey of personal development and subconscious reprogramming is ongoing. True mastery lies in the ability to constantly evolve, learn, and grow, always striving to align your inner world with your external desires and goals. As we cultivate this mindset, we begin to see that growth is not something we achieve once and then stop. It is a continuous process that enriches every aspect of our lives. One of the most important aspects of continual growth is the willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. As you reprogram your subconscious mind and begin to align with your higher potential, you will inevitably encounter situations that push you beyond what you thought was possible. These moments of expansion are where true growth occurs. They challenge you to think differently, to act differently, and to believe in yourself even when the path ahead seems uncertain. The key to continual growth is embracing discomfort as a sign that you are on the right path. Every time you push beyond your limits, you open up new possibilities and opportunities for growth that were previously unavailable to you. In addition to stepping outside your comfort zone, continual growth also requires cultivating a sense of curiosity and openness to new ideas, experiences, and knowledge. Mastery is not about knowing everything, but about being open to learning and evolving as you go. The more you embrace learning, whether through books, experiences, or personal reflection, the more you expand your capacity to manifest your desires and create the life you truly want. This openness to growth, combined with the consistency of reprogramming your subconscious mind, ensures that you are always moving forward, becoming more aligned with your true self, and living from a place of inner mastery. Stepping into your power. At the end of this journey, the most powerful tool you can use to integrate all that you've learned and reprogrammed is visualization. Visualization is a powerful technique that allows you to mentally rehearse the life you want to create and embody the feelings of success, abundance, and joy. By visualizing yourself already living the life you desire, you align your subconscious mind with your conscious goals, creating a clear pathway for your dreams to manifest. This technique works because the subconscious mind cannot distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you visualize yourself achieving your goals, the subconscious begins to believe that this reality is possible, and it begins to guide you toward the actions and behaviors that will bring it to fruition. The final visualization exercise involves seeing yourself stepping into your power, fully aligned with your highest potential. Visualize yourself living your life with confidence, peace, and purpose. See yourself achieving your goals, overcoming challenges, and experiencing the success that you have worked so hard to manifest. As you engage in this visualization, feel the emotions of accomplishment, fulfillment, and gratitude. Let these feelings wash over you, knowing that they are the key to unlocking your true power. By practicing this visualization regularly, you solidify your subconscious programming and align your inner world with the life you are creating. This final step is the culmination of your journey toward mastery, and it is the key to living a life from the inside out, one that is rich with meaning, purpose, and alignment.